you think you could love me and leave me to die? Oh, baby. Can't do this to me, baby. Just gotta get out. Just gotta get right out of here.
Hi, Twitch chat. How are you?
Oh, you started streaming?
I would have started it sooner, but I had to re-put in my stream key because it wasn't working properly.
Wheel died horribly.
So wait, how much of our terrible singing did they hear?
Assuming that it starts from the second I press play, you got the dun 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 dun, that bit. That's where you started at.
Oh.
So none of the actual singing got in there.
No, you missed the good.
Nothing really matters.
I mean, we can go for an encore.
No.
Oh,
Everyone can see.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle and run it wherever I
I would like to request that the copyright owners of these particular songs don't sue me, please.
Oh, don't worry, we're way too old.
Howdy, Lord.
I thought covers were protected.
No, they're not.
Attempting to shout over the
And
lyrics
that's
of
your parody
Ariel.
law.
Parody law doesn't cover you too well.
No, you still need to technically have a
Transformative nature.
not
Well,
ju-
yeah.
but not
It's
just
terrible. That's the transformative nature.
Yep, I mean, it's valid.
you
It's
didn't
valid.
you didn't come here for high quality stuff. You just came here for stuff.
We've just started like incoherently
Fine
screaming.
I mean, that's how the session's going to end. So
I mean, it started that way, it'll end that way, it shall always be that way. Incoherence.
I came into this world incoherently screaming, and that's the way I'm going to leave it.
Yep.
I exist to scream. I have a mouth and I scream.
Yep.
I know why you like him now, okay?
Just like me, mate.
millions dead, and here we scream.
My fucking keyboard is buggered at the moment, so the spacebar is acting up.
Okay.
What?
How are we
I
all?
must find.
How are we all
Go
this
on.
evening?
I'm very Necron.
The world is burning, and
Yeah.
I have sunburnt shoulders.
Oh dear.
Hey kids, who likes the flavor of the Civil War?
The Civil War?
The Civil War, yeah.
I feel
Not
like
the
this is,
Civil War, the Civil War.
I feel like this is a reference that I should know, but I'm too concerned to ask.
Be glad you don't. The world is going on fire at the moment. Here, have memes instead.
We didn't start the fire.
It was always
It was always
burning.
burning since the world's been turning.
Harry Truman, Forrest Day, Red China, Johnny Ray, South Pacific, Motor. Sorry.
Is this going to be the stream instead of Dark Heresy? It's just going to be terrible covers.
I don't
We
know.
can go for a filler episode.
I could once go with the entirety of
It's
that
the
song.
musical episode. Every
No.
good series needs one.
So
I thought
the
it was
reality of
fan
it is, it's actually Victor's has had a mental breakdown. His insanity points have maxed out. Now everyone is singing to him. And he's just like, no, this can't be real.
my
This
favorite
really what's
episode.
happening.
My favorite
Is
episode of
the
Scrubs.
real life?
Or is
this
it just fantasy?
Caught
Caught in a landslide. No escape from reality. Open your eyes. Look up to the skies and see.
That's me.
I'm just a poor boy. Nobody.
I need no sympathy.
I forgot the line.
Easy
Come,
easy
go,
Little right, little love.
little
Can you
I
imagine
am
someone
suffering here. Someone please kill me.
I'll be honest. I didn't expect this to turn into a Russian Badger video 5 minutes in.
Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom.
Can we?
I thought that was finished.
Can we
Can we get back
start?
to the show?
Yes, please.
No.
Please.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
We have
Badger,
sponsors.
badger, 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 badger. I like how the viewership went down as we stopped singing.
Well, rip.
Well, they came in expecting Dark Heresy. They didn't expect a show-stopping musical number, and by
Yep.
show-stopping is because everyone left.
A show stopping
that's
number.
Now
Stop.
I'm having such a good time.
Stop! I'll start booting people from this call.
Yeah. So where were we? Where were we before music starts again?
Okay.
So currently where we were.
Okay.
We're in a cave. Someone had died.
Yes. Or not died, but was on the way.
Incapacitated at the moment.
Okay. So
Fortunately dead.
you went down to the ore and the refinery processing layer of the manufactorum. You
Mhm.
found the dog, the good dog.
The good dog.
Sputnik, there we go. Found the trail of a mysterious gentleman. Or is it? Dun dun dun.
It's a mysterious.
You follow
Enigma wrapped in mystery.
you followed the trail to find a weird dude in a robe. And when Victus said his name, they attacked violently. Very violently. It's probably been the 7th time that Victus has been attacked.
Yep,
Just
probably
keeps
not
getting
the last one.
attacked.
Yay.
What else is there? And then he Kool-Aid guide through the wall, revealing a hidden passageway. You climb down, find
That's my favourite type of passageway.
more servitors that attacked you, and then because of the damage you inflicted upon the robed individual, they seem to have fallen over and succumbed to their wounds.
They're not dead. I
I said they've fallen over, I didn't say they died.
Yeah, no, succumb to their wounds implies that they died.
Semantics.
Yeah.
It's not semantics, it's language. It's the
There-
way it works.
Yeah, but I think you don't realise I failed English. I didn't
A grazing
actually.
blow to the head frazzles the target sense. Sorry. I'm just preparing for critical hits here, so you know what happens to prone, unable to resist individuals.
I don't know. I think I tied him up with some of the spider silk.
You did tie them up with some of the spider silk. I'm probably cutting into their non-mechanical arm quite
Yeah.
horribly.
Thanks,
Hey,
friend.
it should discourage him from moving.
All I'm just saying is you've already started torture.
It's not torture if they're unconscious.
Stop
They're not.
torturing
They're not
the person who's already
unconscious.
been tortured.
They're fully conscious. They just can't. I don't have the strength to fight back.
That's
Yeah.
good enough.
Okay, that makes it 10 times.
We are the
better.
Inquisition. Do you think we're the good guys in this?
I was
In
expecting you to
Warhammer
say you think
40k,
we
no
care.
one's the good guy in this.
Except the
The
Necrons.
Inquisition.
The
you
Necrons
think
are not
we
the
care.
good guys, see. I swear to God, I will fly out to Denmark and slap you.
You may come and try.
Oof. That's
I will fight you for this one occasion.
Oh,
Okay.
great. Guess I'm spending my next summer in Denmark.
well. And the
Now that
last.
more people want to come to slap me. Oh,
And the,
great.
and the
Oh,
last
let's-
thing that
let's go.
happened was Paris, if I remember correctly, was IDing the.
Yeah, she got the ID. She's pocketed the ID, and she's, looking after the person.
Okay. Did I get you to roll a Medicae test at the end of that? Yes,
You
yes, you
did.
did. So that's all good. So you at least stopped any kind of major bleeding and all that kind of jazz. So that's all good.
And all that jazz.
Excuse me. And that brings us back to the present time.
Diddle-oo-doo.
I would like to look around if there's any other possible threats.
Okay, 1 second.
You look in the mirror. You're the biggest threat to yourself.
You look a bit.
Indeed.
You look a
That
bit
is
further
pretty
for. Oh,
acceptable.
there we
But
go.
that's what I can account for.
That's about as far as you can see in the darkness. You do see a turning to the left where you can go left.
To the left, to the left.
You see an area down to your south, and the cave seems to lead on a bit towards the right as well.
Roger that.
Roger, Roger.
Roger,
Necrons.
Roger.
I was waiting for that.
You just got Roger.
Oof! How will they ever
What if you
recover?
got Roger Rabbit did?
No, do not.
Seize.
All right. As he was going this way, suggesting he was acting upon some kind of instinct to find here, meaning he would either have gone over here or over here.
World.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try to go over here then, and look further down there.
Is anyone doing anything else before I start moving the camera down?
Continue.
Parus is going to be still focusing on making sure this person's all right.
Okay.
Try.
They're not unresponsive to you trying to interfere with them, but they're just like, they don't show any sign of visual resistance other than a mild twitch every now and again.
Mm.
Okay.
So that they're fully conscious and can see me, correct?
They do appear to be fully conscious, yes.
Right, okay.
The Victus is crawled into a corner beside their body and is just sort of like rocking slightly.
Victus, would you like to make a willpower test for me?
I bloody well would. I sure do love self-inflicted character development.
I need to
willpower. There you are.
Don't make me have to fix you too.
While
No,
subject.
you remain your cool after seeing one of your fellow Cadian comrades seem to have succumbed to something quite unfortunate.
Still
Death?
pretty pissed about the sons and daughters of Cadia being left like this.
Z, you see more cave as it goes on quite far. And also because the twist a bit further down, you can't quite see all the way through into the next larger segment.
Whilst Parus is just, moving stuff around and, of course, seeing after the person, she's going to turn around and notice that Victus has started drinking. And she's going to approach him and put her hand, over the top of the flask as if to, gesture for him to stop.
Victus just looks up to you, and you can see that his expression is incredibly dour.
That's not going to help you or them.
I assure you, it's helped me a lot over the years.
I would.
As for them, I don't think there's anything we can do to help them.
Actually, I reckon, given time, effort, and certain resources, that they could be salvaged if that helps you in any way.
He sort of guffles, pulls the flagon away from underneath you and swigs again. Salvaged. Yeah.
Look, I know my vocabulary is a bit biased towards less organic processes, but please try to think about what I'm implying. They can be saved.
Well,
I'll make it my personal goal if you'll stop. We need you.
Victus gets up, he seals the flask up as he would do, and reloads the hand cannon. Yes, we do have a bastard who did this to fix.
Exactly. I promise you I'll do everything I can. Alright, Victus?
Like I said, I don't think there's anything left.
Once again, I have hope. And I hope one day yours can return too. Though I understand that is easier said than done. I'm not as heartless as I often try and make out.
Yeah, you told us you're not short of a heart. Victus is not being negative towards you.
No, she understands it's the situation.
He's just cold, so he's going to start following after Boy, who seems to be wandering off on his own.
I would like to take a look what's up here.
Parus is going to send Sputnik on ahead with them while she
Okay, no.
stabilizes this
Can I
person.
use the Auspex to map out these caves so we don't get lost?
I don't think the Auspex provides mapping tools. It only provides movement.
Well, I guess I'll have to improvise then. I would like to pick up the last gun and
Start carving around. You're a fucking. You're trained to remember shit. You have
Yes.
perfect memory. You know how to get us out of here.
that doesn't mean that we could get
Parus
lost.
also has total recall, just saying.
I mean, total recall is going to help bullshit if we lose sight in the dark.
You have total recall. I have drunken bumble. We'll find our way out. It's fine.
Fair
Okay.
enough, fair enough. I'll put down the
Also, some
ladder.
of us have like night vision.
Okay.
I have.
Exactly. You have night vision and total recall. You'll find the way out.
But if I lose night vision,
Z, in front
Yes?
of you, you see a large steel. Steel. I don't know what the typical. I imagine that
Metal.
You see a large
Ferrocrete.
metal door. It's a bulk. It's more. I say it's a door. It's a little more of a bulkhead.
oh,
Ah, so it'd be plastil then.
I found something.
That you have. A door.
It's a door.
The subject appears to be conscious still. Administration of sedatives might be beneficial in this case.
Just to say, Osiron, I think your settings have changed slightly, and it's a bit hard to understand what you're saying.
I'll get the sec.
Testing, testing. Is it better?
Adjust a bit more.
Testing.
That's a bit better.
I know what the problem is. Just a second.
Oh, ow, 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 ow.
He's got hypersensitive
Testing,
hearing.
testing,
Ooh.
testing, testing.
There we
Is this
go.
better?
Yeah, that's better. I can understand you a lot better now.
So, okay.
Sister, the subject appears to be conscious still. Administering sedatives might be beneficial for them.
I am aware.
Put them under. That would be the humane thing to do.
I know what I'm doing. Don't worry. Go on ahead with the others. Make sure they don't hurt themselves.
Okay. You have better expertise in this.
Hey boy, want to see me juggle hand grenades?
Yeah, why not?
God damn it.
Please, for God's sake, go and stop them.
Testing, 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 testing.
Okay, it appears to be a little fucky. I'm sorry.
Ooh! Shit.
Ow.
The fuck was that?
That is
It's making
Okay,
a
that is
horrendous
my
whistling
fucking-
kind of noise.
Mhm.
that is my fucking voice modulator going shitty. I think I'm not going to use it for this session.
Yeah,
Fucking-
well,
Yeah,
we can
fair
try
enough.
fix it up for next one. We'll fix.
So
Anyway,
hopefully you can find those proprietary data files you were looking for. Last time we spoke about how busted it was.
Oh, about the Blue Yeti?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's fine. I fixed the Blue Yeti. It's the fucking voice.
Oh wait,
modulator.
you were fucking reverse repairing a Blue Yeti?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Oh, it turned out to be just okay. Later. Sorry, Scarlet.
Sorry. Engineering talk between two nerds.
okay. Sorry, do you catch up with the crew?
Yes, I would like to follow along.
Neve, what are you doing with the patient while you're on your lonesome with them, or are you just seeing to their wounds more?
I'm going to try and see to their wounds more. I'm also going to try and see if I can actually communicate with them.
Okay, we'll get to you in a little bit if that's okay, because you'll be working at that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so Melvin, in the direction
Mhm.
your character will be looking at, you see the bulkhead.
Mm-hmm.
You do see an interface terminal near it.
Mm-hmm.
The bulkhead is closed.
Let's attempt to open the bulkhead. Use the interface.
Let's take a look. What does the bulkhead? What does this look like?
A giant sheet metal blast door.
I was talking about the terminal. I presume there isn't a big open here, but
No, it's more suited to Mechanicus interfacing rather than typical generic user.
I got electrograph use. Haha.
Okay, make a tech use test if you want to see if you can get it open.
Well, I have done worse before.
Roll, you fool.
Nope. It doesn't work.
You keep putting square peg into round hole.
It's like watching a grandma try and plug a HDMI cable in.
Oof. That was harsh.
I think Melvin's moved aside for you to walk in,
Oh.
Osiron.
Shall
Would
I
you
investigate?
like to give it a try? You're more adept at it.
Make a tech use
I mean,
test.
I do dabble.
Sure hope my pickup's being fine.
Second.
I'm going to prepare the universal key in case of failure.
Base tech news coming right up. What the? Okay, well, even with the... Okay.
You can fate it to get it to a success.
If you do use a fate point, you do guarantee its success of.
Yes. Now let's do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
The roll gods are not fucking kind to me today, apparently.
You interface with the door, and you get a bit of a jolt as you interface with it more and more. It's nothing like painful, but it's more annoying. The door seems a bit like semi-unstable. The sort of circuit interface is either you can't quite tell if it's just damaged or if it's been tampered with.
It hurts so good.
But could you make could you make a security test to see if you can break through?
Okay. Yep.
Best of luck, nerd.
Good thing I bought proficiency in fucking security and fuck. What the fuck is going on today with these rolls?
Oh wait, you have a 0.5 decrease.
It's still
of
a
success.
pass.
Yeah, but like, okay, not gonna. Yeah.
You interface with the door a bit more, and probably after a good, 10 minutes of tinkering with it, you are able to override the security lock, and you do gain access to the door controls. They can go up as well as down.
Security protocols disengaged. Door open.
Excuse me. The bulkhead raises from the top downwards, and quite a bright light is inside the room.
Please tell me we found our pensions savings.
Inside, you find a large amount of cargo storage containers, or the 40k equivalent.
Oh, like those things gene stealers come out of every now and then.
Yeah, pretty much. There's about 8 lining the walls of the room, 2 of which have been opened, and the other one are pretty much locked up tight.
What size of containers are we talking?
Standard, probably the equivalent of typical shipping containers.
Pretty big fuckers, eh?
Pretty big.
What's the fucking TV show called where they fucking buy out storage containers?
Storage Wars.
Storage Wars, yeah, there we go.
Have the universal key ready.
The greatest TV show out there.
While they're doing that, Victus is not only like watching over all of his gear and for once preparing the grenade launcher. Does this place look like these were illicitly put here?
What could you elaborate further? Sorry, I don't know.
Like, was that door? Did that door look like it was haphazardly installed? Was it deliberate? Are these walls reinforced? How dusty is the place? That kind of stuff.
Okay, so it's not. So the walls themselves have not been reinforced per se. It is pretty much all exposed mantle rock and everything. Let me just check your stats.
I see what you're trying to do there.
You don't necessarily have. Are you just like standing from the outside looking in? Are you? And you're just like thinking about it?
I'm going to go into the boxes.
Sorry.
Running fingers down the glass, on the metal, and sort of like running my foot across the ground to see how dusty the place is.
It's been cleaned up a bit, so it's not like as you tap the floor, the dust just completely fades away from you. It's relatively well maintained. You look at the door itself, as you kind of get a more exact look at its construction. It's not perfectly installed. It's a bit tilted. Either side, the walls aren't like, if you look at the side of the walls where it raises up and down, probably you can see it's not properly interfaced. They basically rush cut the sides of the walls and then just placed it in there without filling it with any kind of covering or anything.
This looks like someone's personal stash, off the books, off the records.
So
I would like
this might be a smuggler's code.
Do you have smugglers in the Forge Worlds?
This is a very good question.
Apparently, yes.
I mean,
I
I've
would
heard
like to take a look into what is in these crates.
Are you looking at the open ones first?
Yes, because they have obviously been breached.
Okay.
Could give an insight in what is in the others.
You look inside, and you find them to be empty.
I would like to tinker with the locks and one of the locked ones.
Any chance of discerning what was inside of it?
No traces as far as you can tell.
I guess I'll have to go to one of the locked ones.
So you're both interfacing with the locks. It seems to be it's nothing really complex. It's mostly chain work and a few padlocks.
Mhm.
I mean, you could attempt to pick the lock with security, or you can just use the universal key, which I imagine Melvin's already doing.
Yes, I already have my universal key ready. It's not like we're going to lock it.
There wasn't even a need to ask, and I would like to interface with them, like, in a more subtle way.
Hmm.
I'm overwatching from the entrance.
Okay.
Since I have security, but you have better security than me, so...
So, Siren, you make a security test. Melvin, you'll be spending time cutting it up.
I mean, I just have to get
I'm
it.
more secured, but you are more contained.
Hmm.
Motherfucker, what is with this?
You're rolling
shit?
bad today. Oh well, hopefully that'll improve.
Yeah, tell me about it. Fucking hell. Okay, yeah, that was
Oh, thank you.
figure.
Oh, got some subscribers in the chat. Thank you very much.
Thanks everyone. I did notice that earlier, and we really appreciate it a
So
lot.
thank you to Tools of Paranoia for 3 months. Thank you, Neve. I've been bamboozled with continuing us up and gifting out one to the community.
Aw.
Aw,
And it's randomly been assigned to Eye Doctor Diego.
nice.
Congrats.
Anyway,
Right.
It would suck if it was sent to me.
anyway,
It's like, oh shit, fuck.
It would look like total bias if it went to you.
so Siren, you can't seem to pick the locks. It's like you probably could given enough time, but there's so many of them, and you see Melvin's already making his way through it. That you're like, fuck it.
I would like to use the last gun and just fire point blank at it just to melt the fucker off of the chains.
Okay, just make a weapon test for me to see if the thing jams.
Oh boy, can't wait to fuck up this one spectacularly.
It's a 1 in
Here we go.
100 chance.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Whoa! Would you fucking look at that?
I'm just gonna say, because you're probably aiming it point blank, you can't miss the shot. I was just rolling to get you to roll to see if it jams. Can you roll damage, please?
Thank fuck it's not XCOM.
Everyone in the room took damage.
I mean, some GMs would probably be like, "Could you make it a plus 50 modifier if you miss?" Well, you miss. You melt a couple of the locks going through, and you probably could the damage done. You could probably pull them apart. Melvin, can I just to clarify? Are you cutting open the actual metal of the container, or are you just removing the locks?
Just a lock. The container could be necessary for a continuous system of some kind.
Okie doke. Okay, I say roughly about the same time as you probably spent, as Siren probably spent a while picking the locks, and then went to the fuck it protocol.
Yep.
You probably get them all unlocked at roughly the same time.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Dear Lord. Okay, you have removed the locks, and you're able to open. Well, all the padlocks are around. There's still like the built-in lock to the container itself.
Ravioli. What's in the container?
This one's more of a data padlock. Rather than a. Would you like to make another security test, Siren?
Yes, I would like to fail another security check. Absolutely. Here we fucking go.
3 degrees
Wow.
of success. The universal password of 1111 seemed to have worked.
Well, that's good.
Okay, Melvin, I'm assuming you're just cutting into the interface.
Yes, I would like to open it
ran out of
with a last gun in hand in case there's something alive in there.
I would like to just give it a sideways glance and just fucking take my head and try to open what I've got.
The door opens. Do you still have a nose?
I mean, I've got like a system that filters air, but I do have olfactory sensing. Yes,
Yes. You
I can just filter it out.
even through your
Gas mask filled into the bucket.
true, but even with the filters, you get a revolting smell.
Is it like rotting flesh?
It is like rotting flesh.
Ah, rations.
Is it rotting flesh?
As you open the door, you see that the entire container is stacked with bodies.
Mm.
Does this smell reach the door?
I would like to activate the comm bead and say, status update, we seem to have found a stash of dead bodies.
Yes, it has reached the door to you now, Victus.
Victor's just going to walk over. I would like to see if there's any iconography on any of them, any sort of clothes or anything.
You immediately recognize them as they're all wearing Cadian Guard Regiment uniforms.
Does that mean we can get some Cadian flag armor?
Victus
might be
pulls a firebomb from his belt, lights it, throws it onto the pile of bodies, just stares at Osiron.
I nod.
What is inside of it?
I just nod silently. Melvin, this might not be for your eyes. I advise you to step back.
Close the door so he can't see it.
I did.
And boy, cover your mouth. You don't want to breathe that.
I have a gas mask.
You leave the room and you seal the door. Neve, let's go back to you for a minute.
I didn't even
Okay.
get anything out of that.
Victor's
Also,
fire.
fire.
Victor's got trauma out of that, so just fucking count your blessings.
Fire inside of an enclosed space.
The oxygen, it'll run out of oxygen eventually.
Yep. Yeah, but
I'm just saying that.
Burnt enough.
So what was happening whilst these people were setting fire to dead bodies?
So, just to clarify, what exactly was it you was intending on doing? Stabilizing the patient, trying to get some sense out of them. What is it you're trying to do?
Both of those things.
Okay. Yeah. I want to say make a Medicae test for me, please.
Any modifier?
No, just your usual. No additional.
Okie dokie. So
Excuse me.
100.
Oof.
9.2 degrees of success.
That's
I
that's
know
a-
where all the good rolls went today.
That's a lot of degrees of success. Holy shit. Okay.
Not only do I fix this person instantly, they're completely cured.
And it solved all the problems of the universe.
System reboot confirmed.
It's probably because of the mechanical parts.
You succeeded so hard that the Emperor just awoke in and stood from the ground.
Yeah, I succeeded so hard that the Emperor can now leave the Golden Throne.
The Emperor
And
I
decided
succeeded so hard that I blasted Nurgler out of existence.
It'd be funny if, like, the Emperor's one not decrepit hand starts, like, reaching up, and it was like, oh, what's he doing? Scratches his, like, nose hole, puts his arm back down again, stops moving. I got an itch and I got a scratch.
Step 1, scratch my everything.
Oh, spasm.
I mean, isn't that basically what the custodians are for? Scratching his everything.
Cleansing the corpse, yes.
Don't know what kind of an inch you want to scratch, but no thanks.
Anyway. Neve.
Mhm.
You stabilize all the bleeding and you manage to splint up any kind of bones you suspect to be broken from combat.
Yeah.
You do all your usual and you've done a bang up tight job of the physical care for this individual.
Mhm. Can I see now that it's definitely female?
It is a female body. It is a female individual. Yes, you would have realised that after probably the deeper examination. You obviously, you stabilize the bleeding. You splintered up any broken bones. The person is in a. I do not know what the medical term for it, but it's definitely a state. I think the
Necrosis.
correct
No.
term would be a state of shock.
Right.
They are twitching a lot, and they are catatonic. That's it. Thank you.
Right.
And the kind of speech they're getting is, other than the occasional tangible word, it's mostly just babble.
Right. Okay. If I remember correctly, when someone's going through shock, you have to like raise their legs, if that's correct. Am I wrong, Mr. Doctor?
No, you're not. I think it is to increase core body circulation, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. But also, I mean, I don't think you've got any sugary items on you to cure shock.
Mm.
Maybe I should have milled an extra buy snacks next time.
We need sweets.
Just inject glucose.
Yeah.
Does it?
Well, you've got a
yeah.
first aid kit. I imagine there'd be something in there that'd be
Yeah,
able.
there probably should be.
Glucose shots. They'll be in there. For
Are there
most
any
people.
doctor's lollipops in my first aid kit?
You find 17 packs of Skittles.
Oh my god.
Empty them into its mouth.
If anything's going to survive 45 millennia, it's going to be fucking Skittles.
Are you being serious? Does she have Skittles?
No, I'm not being serious.
I must become a rogue trader just to trade Skittles.
It's custard with an additional amount of sugar.
God, they're
On
gonna
some
go
planets,
smooth.
Skittles are what the economy is made up of.
Possibly. I don't
You
know.
hammer them down to get thrones.
Someone ask Grimlays that.
But yeah. So she'd be looking to try and, of course, reduce the symptoms of shock and mainly try and treat them for this. Though, if they are going through shock, that's going to be a very long process.
It would be. But I will say that you're doing an excellent job taking care of them, so I will let you carry on until I say that they're... We'll go back to the other group for a bit, and then we'll...
Yep.
And when I think roughly enough time would be in theory appropriate to pass, we'll get you... I'll just say you're done now, you may do what you wish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So, let's...
I suppose the party returns to see you finishing up.
Mm-hmm.
There's more of them, or what's left of them, in a storage room on the corner.
Alive or dead?
Very dead.
Right.
Been like that for a long time.
Dealt with them.
Well, this one physically is doing a lot better, but they're currently going through a state of shock,
No
which
doubt.
I'm...
Took several shotgun shells.
Mhm.
Surprised they could shrug that off.
And the mental scarring is, of course, going to take a lot of work.
What exactly do you think scarred them that way?
Probably
machine.
the torture.
Considering the bodies back there, I'm unsurprised. All Cadian.
We have observed a similar pattern with the previous patient that we've recovered. They were also subjected to continuous torture.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
This seems to imply that we are dealing with the same adversary who is responsible for multiple atrocities.
And do you think it's one of the clones of Luca?
All that fuck, who's the other guy?
Bertrand?
Well,
It's hard to tell.
no sense fucking around here. Let's go find out.
Okay.
What should I do with her in the meantime?
Well, I'm assuming you untied her.
Yeah.
I'd say that at this point, probably with the injections that you've given her, she's probably like pretty much sedated for at least a couple hours. So it'd probably be okay to leave her, I'd say, medically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably leave a fronter there as a sentry, and if something goes wrong, I may be able to see that through the visual link.
Perfect.
Did the
Thank you, brother.
Did the individual have a weapon on them?
We did. They did, and I retrieved the chainsaw as well.
There was a las pistol as well, wasn't there, or some sort of pistol, wasn't there?
Well, as far as I recall,
Not that I specified.
Right,
Yeah.
I thought they had some sort of handgun.
They had
Never mind.
they have a mechanical hand.
Yeah, we've seen
good
the
point.
handle of a weapon, and that turned out to be a chainsaw.
I'm pretty sure, given how thorough her medical examination was of this person, if there was a weapon, she probably would have taken it and
Yeah, I'm just
confiscated it.
Just
I
thinking of
suddenly
doing something
realized something
to-
horrible.
Go on.
If I actually cut it open with the last cutter, like the actual box.
There's reasons why I asked for specifics. Okay.
I mean, ultimately, we did end up burning the bodies anyway, so it hardly would have mattered.
Hey,
Do I see anything, Scarlet?
To the right is just basically an indentation in the cave. It looks, you look at kind of above you, and it looks like there's like a minor cave in. It looks like it's been cleared out as a lot of the debris is stacked around the walls. But this area is unused, and the cave continues onward. I'm assuming the party's following.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst following, Parus is gonna once again turn to Victus and say, "And how are you doing?"
Well, I just had to put what's looked like probably 2 or 3 squads to the torch, so.
Well, you weren't the one who killed them. Just know that.
I'm more disconcerted about the lack of the empty ones.
We should focus on making it right for them at this point. That's the best we can do.
I want to find who's fucking responsible and put a bolt between their eyes.
Oh yeah, I would like to.
I concur.
My last gun raised.
Ditto.
You reach the end and you find a branching path, as it were. One that goes to the left, and it's just, you see for the most part more caving, but the one to the upper path leads to what appears to be a larger room, and the other one leads downwards into, again, it appears to be a larger room.
I say we go the left-handed path.
Okay.
No, you saw what I did there, okay.
I heard what you said about the left-handed path, and I was about to be like, you little shit. You put that away. That's not suitable for these people. They're too pure.
What does that
I
even
don't
mean?
think I don't
Exactly
think
my point.
You find a left turn
What do you
and a
mean by
right turn.
left-handed pass?
Don't worry about it.
Tell me later.
I feel Melvin has decided that north is the appropriate path.
Apparently so.
And we're just fucking following around, seeing that we just
The boys.
I'm just waiting for Victus to catch up.
You find a north.
Sorry, I was alt-tabbing out to do something.
You find a north path
Melvin.
and a. Okay.
Melvin, do not rush forward. Do not stray away. You don't know what you might be running into.
You see
Okay.
You see another damaged room, but there is a pathway leading to your right into this room.
Mm-hmm.
Melvin,
what the fuck did I tell you?
Melvin, you spot another bulkhead.
You
See?
also thought the click of a landmine.
Please don't even think of it.
Hey, I survived one. Barely.
You got better.
That was in a different
She
environment.
turned me into a newt.
You're Newt.
I got better.
I got better.
I'll be honest, I don't know this reference.
Oh,
Python.
yeah.
What's it?
Uncultured
What's
swine.
the Holy Grail?
Oh, I've not watched it in so long, I don't remember any of it.
Rewatch it. It's good.
Master Siren, would
Okay.
you give it
Ah,
this one a
so
try?
I shall do the honors now, huh?
Unless you want me to cut it open.
No, this is the opposite of what I would want. Do not desecrate any more machinery, please. Unless further specified.
The machines belongs to
Whilst
enforce
they're having
authority.
that argument, Paris is just going to put a hand on Victus's shoulder.
The machine might be holy, but it's opposing to us.
He's
The
not
machine is just performing
unresponsive to
you.
your attempts to like soothe him, but he is definitely just like, I just burnt a bunch of bodies. No.
Siren, would you like to make your
Aye.
tech use test for me?
Boy, would I. Fuck, here we
You
fucking
can do
go.
it. Believe it.
Well, apparently I can.
You interface
Yes!
successfully with the bulkhead's terminal, and it is the code inside of it is a scrambled mess.
Oh, the firmware seems to be corrupt.
It appears to be, the way you're looking at it, it's too random to be machinery. So you would induct that it has quite possibly been sabotaged.
Mm-hmm. So
Well-
it's just random corruption. It's not encryption.
If you would like to make a security test at a -10 roll, please.
Good luck.
Well, I would, but
Can
let's
I
see
help?
what the dice gods will say about that.
Oof.
Yeah,
That's
those
new.
dice gods don't like it.
No, I would like to use a fate point to reroll.
You're going to
that
do a full
entirely.
reroll. Okay.
Yes, fuck that
Here we
noise.
go.
Oh god, your rolls are cursed today.
Less than a degree of improvement.
Thanks, I hate it.
To be fair, you normally roll absolute fire in most of the things you do, so
That is true.
this is
Probably
just
catching up to
karmatic
me.
balance.
It's probably catching
Hey.
up to me, yes.
Are you doing security checks? Like,
Yep.
is there any sort of way of displaying what you're seeing?
You could probably. There is a terminal that is displaying what he's doing with it, so you probably could both work together if you want to do it.
I'd like
Yep.
to do an additional security check as if Victus is just staring at it like, what are we seeing here?
Okay, so sorry, if you want to try and roll,
No.
if you want to try and roll again, but this time with a +10 modifier.
Okay, so
Victus is just staring at the cone like, that
I'm
don't
just
look
gonna-
right.
I'm just gonna move over a little bit to give him a better view, better look.
I'm preparing like a last cut in the meantime.
Mother. Okay, I
You
give up.
realise
Fuck
that
this.
thing is like the size of a suitcase, right?
Oh, you're having a bad
I know.
day.
I'm fucking out. I'm done with this shit.
Boy, cut.
I can just see you with one of those filmmaker things now. Cut. And we'll be doing this. Can we skip until that we have
I
reached?
just lift my arms and say, "Screw that! I tried," and move away.
That poor machine spirit.
Too corrupted for you to handle.
Melvin, as you start cutting into it,
Don't tell me it starts screaming.
Oh my god, that would have been a great idea. I wish I thought of
Well,
that.
it is screaming to me anyway because I can hear the wails of machine spirits. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's why Parus said that
Um,
poor machine spirit.
Are you guys all just staring at Melvin?
Oh, yeah.
Victus would probably be watching like on Overwatch the second Melvin gets the thing out. So
As
probably a combination of him and behind us.
Victus, as you kind of look around here, you notice there's a security camera.
Hey, guess what? Pow. Pow.
Are you gonna shoot?
I fate point that. Fuck you, camera. Fuck you, camera.
I thought we could take perception checks for that.
I'm gonna say with the caliber of your gun, it just immediately takes it out. You hear over the speakers now starts playing in the room. Now I must say I'm quite disappointed that you've come to destroy what I've created here.
No
Is it
more
Detrand?
fuck.
It's a very synthetic voice.
Mhm.
I had enough of assholes looking for a free show.
Oh, please! I am far too preoccupied with what I'm doing to watch you guys constantly.
And
Does it
what
be-
would that be, pray
That's gonna
tell?
be your fault.
Why tell you when you can find out eventually? I mean, you'll eventually stumble into the right room. Maybe. Possibly. It's not for me to say.
Then we shall not comply and stay right here. What do you think about that?
Oh, fine. That means I don't get interrupted.
Well, that wasn't the gotcha I was expecting it to be. Okay.
It sounds like an argument between a child and their parent.
Like, this guy stumble into a frag grenade at this rate. Ugh.
But you know,
Boy, how's the door coming along?
Scarlet, how's the door coming along?
it's an incredibly thick door. You're going to be at it a while.
Oh, great.
But he just goes, you know, you will never. You. Let me try again.
Don't worry, take your time.
It's quite entertaining watch you stumbling into room after room. Why don't I give you this one for free? Just for old time's sakes. How about that?
Why don't you fall under an industrial press while you're at it?
He just starts like, you clearly don't think large enough, tech adept.
Well, your mother did not think like that.
Melvin, the door starts opening at your...
I would like to move away.
It's like
Your mama joke.
Yes.
I love the idea that you're like trying to cut through the door just starts opening, and there's just a line of like burn mark down the door. You just totally is like, oh, okay, bye, door. Oh, okay.
Fine, I don't want to cut you open anyway.
Baka.
Buck a survivor.
What kind of locomotion has this door bulkhead?
So it is going from the top down.
So theoretically, he could shut us in there if we. Can we disable the door mechanism?
I mean, you could always give it the technical knock.
I would like to give us a technical knock with the universal key.
You just whack it with your heat ray.
We could have severed the connections that were leading to it, but go off.
Oh, okay.
Torture more machine spirits while you're at it. See you meet there.
Machine murderer.
I'm not one to say what machine spirits care for, but from my experience with the two of you, wouldn't you have regarded that as a mercy killing?
That. That is one way to look at it.
I'm going to start
No,
debating
we
philosophy.
Ah, great. More burning corpses then.
Last time I heard a servitor try and debate philosophy, my mum had to shoot it in the face. So.
Inside the
Wow.
room is...
Yes.
This one's probably the most technical looking room you've seen, as the walls are actually reinforced. And across the walls of the rooms, the room is incredibly high. It goes up into the darkness of the boat, and it goes, and it's basically... Let me just draw on the map real quick, because I forgot to do this before.
No problem.
Freehand.
Lovely. Hello, Tempest. Glad to see you
Okay.
here. Thanks for joining, buddy.
So, oh god, why is it drawing a shape? I just want to draw. There we go.
Squiggles.
This is supposed to be a freehand. This is supposed to be a freehand tool. Yeah, it's drawing shapes. So basically, on this side,
Yes.
it goes all the. There's a massive wall, and there's a big pit that goes all the way down into the darkness.
I would like to look down into the darkness.
On the wall itself, you see what appear to be.
No, if you look into the abyss looks back.
I mean, if a giant eye is open down there, I'm going to shoot it.
You see on the walls, it seems to be covered in layers of pods of some kind.
What size are these pods? Are we talking about hand grenade or
They're talking
human?
they're about 8 feet tall. They're covered in.
Are there people in the pods?
You can't see inside them because as the glass is tinted a quite a strong green.
There are people
Please be
definitely
Necron.
in those
Please be
pods.
Necron.
It's not going to be Necrons.
Would that be the same type and shape of pod we've seen earlier in Death Trans facility?
I don't think I've mentioned them before in the facility.
No, we saw them before. Remember with the Chimera?
Oh yes. Yes, you're right. Sorry, I think different other mission. Sorry.
No problem.
I thought you was playing this mission. No, these don't look to be like cryogenically frozen.
Okay.
Can we abort whatever's inside?
I'm sorry, could you say that again, please?
Can we kill what's inside?
Okay.
We don't know what's inside.
We should probably open one to find out first before.
All right, last guns first. Let's check it.
There is a terminal kind of in front of the safety railing that's kind of stopping you from just stepping over into the pit.
May I try this?
Yep. Make a tech use test. This is unlike any terminal you've ever seen before in your life.
Can I give it a try?
Yep, go ahead.
Siren, you're a dedicated engineer.
I should have
hacker
gotten
type,
combi
fix it.
tools. Wait,
So
I wonder if
fun.
this is
I'm
electrograph
an engineer.
fuse.
And this means I solve problems.
I would still lose.
You fuck!
I'm sorry, what problems are you solving? Let me have a look at this. Parus is gonna come over and have a look at it.
Would you like to make your tech use test?
Yeah, any modifiers?
No modifier. Completely flat.
What the
It needed a woman's touch.
You're able to interface with it, but this one is unusual. Typically, you find that reading the interface is very universal, but it's written in a language that you've never seen before. The symbols are kind of strange looking. They don't seem to be coherent to any language that you're directly familiar
Okay,
with.
so it might be Necrons.
No, Nancy. I just wanted to say in nosy before you get your fucking hopes up. This is probably not Necron.
Would you like to make a
Is it-
sorry? Would you like to make a security test at -20 if you have security?
I don't have security.
Well, the terminal's open now, so if someone else wants to try and interface with it, then they can without having to tech use it. You've got
A
it.
siren?
Yes,
Still -20 for you.
got it. I
that
suppose
a-
I might take a gander, yes.
Is this a security test?
Yes.
Can I assist?
You could try, but it'll make just the modifier -10 overall.
I'll
Whilst
take any
I'm
fucking help I can.
whilst I am looking at this thing, by the way, because of course I have Forbidden Law Archaeotech,
Mm-hmm.
do I recognise this as something I've read about before?
Oh, also, yeah, I have the same thing. Take it on the after the read.
Make a roll
What
for-
about common law tech?
No.
No.
Hey,
Make a
Okay.
roll.
a siren.
Yes, just a sec.
Do you
Yep.
know what the 4 most commonly used passwords are?
I presume that I
Love,
do.
sex, secret, and God.
The second one that you mentioned does not meet the required minimum character limit.
See, that's the best thing about it. No one
Z,
would expect it.
to respond
What
to
would-
Z's role, you look at it and this wouldn't really be covered under common law. This seems to be mostly, as far as your...
This is Forbidden Law.
Yeah. It's very...
Fuck. Okay, Forbidden Lore, Archaeotech. Oh, fuck!
Oh.
Finally!
Nice.
Oh, Christ!
Finally.
Oh, took it long enough.
Siren, you look at it and go, and it's very hard to put a direct causation on it, mainly because what you can see versus what you're interpreting, it seems to be a lot of custom work done to this. This is not standard technology.
So we can last cut it.
No, Z.
No!
Got it yet.
However, you do your best interpretation is some kind of very unusual kind of medical unit.
Sister, I suppose if we manage to interface with this might be your area of expertise.
Of course.
Well then, why don't we see how this turns out? -10, yeah?
Yeah, -10, yeah, with... Because of the strange language, you're not able to decrypt the coding.
Hmm.
Well then.
So I'm just like looking through things to be like,
Hmm.
would I possibly be able to use logic to try and see if I can decipher something regarding the language, if there's like a certain pattern or code?
Okay, make it just a flat test for me, please.
Okay.
Oof.
Nice.
So...
Well, one of us is succeeding today.
You're probably not going to be... You probably aren't able to translate word for word.
Literacy, then.
But you do see basically a consistent patterns of lettering. You probably find what's the word? As basically start getting an understanding of the file structure of the terminal itself, where how it's organized, where things are like you could say things are collected by certain key symbols. You can't decipher what those symbols are because you need a lot more time for that. But you can it's a bit easier to work with this terminal now. You kind of understand how it's been laid out.
Can I also try to do that, or do I have to?
You would probably with the degrees of success that Parus got, you probably would just come to the same result.
Oh well.
I don't suppose it would have anything to do with Maligrous cipher? Question mark.
Neve, do you kind of communicate what you've learned from the?
Yeah, she's probably like feeding it back and forward between her and Osiron via binary.
Okay. I'm going to say without rolling, you can say it is some kind of Maligrous cipher.
Oh, Oh, okay.
Now
While
that
they're doing
Now,
can I do a search of the room?
don't ask me how or when or why I know this, but I might have an idea of what this is.
I've already established that you seem to have been delving into certain more heretical pursuits.
I will start looking at you
I
and then.
I
Simon,
would put it as yes.
if you want to try and make another attempt on unlocking it, you can do it again with a +20 modifier this time.
Okay, so it's
Do you recognize
security
the
plus
buried
10
million?
cumulative, yeah?
+20 overall.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
To be
Holy
fair,
shit.
you would have just passed that without it. With the assistance from Parus kind of deciphering a rough language structure, you are able to interface fully with the terminal now. It's probably a bit awkward to move around the thing, but you are able to roughly work out the layers of the interface. You can see that this terminal is indeed connected to the pods that are hung up on the wall, and you are able to basically you're able to highlight on the screen basically any of the pods
Which
that
one
you can see
corresponds to which?
directly. Yeah, you can correspond them now.
This is most curious. Can we try to pop up some kind of menu or to see what the pods contain?
When you interface with the pod, the details are there's no imagery of what's inside of them. It's because it's basically row by column as they're organized.
Yeah.
As you interface with, let's say, D17, just making up a random one, you can see that you get 4 lines of what you're assuming is status information. Your code breaking probably isn't up to stuff to knowing exactly what it is, but you can work out roughly one of them that says pod controls, give or take, with a loose translation, and that does open up a separate key interface. And you've basically got some commands on there. Make a Reciphers test for me, no modifier.
Okay, just a second, coming right up. Well, you know what? Why do I even fucking bother at this point?
Jesus, dude, you're having a bad time. You're probably not. You're not able to translate what they say. It's.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna roll a d4 if that's 4 columns. Yeah.
Yeah. There's 6. There's 4. There's 4 interface buttons when you look inside of it too.
I activate the second one.
Let me check my list.
I would like to hold my last gun up because I don't know what's going on.
You interface with the pod that's directly closer to you. It seems to just make a kind of a pressuring noise and then stops. You reasonably deduct that this one was in fact close.
Okay, so as seen that was close, logically I should assume that the one on top of it would be open.
You can.
And logically, if we were to pursue this further, the third one, not really known. Fourth one would be to terminate or purge anything inside.
It's possible.
Are you relaying that you're about to do this?
Yes, I am going to relay.
I was just going to step back and
Full action
get out.
shotgun
Yeah.
of what you're talking about.
So which key do you press?
I'm just going to try this. I'm just going to look back to everyone and say, now, what I am about to do might be stupid. Rest assured it is. So please be on.
I thought you were going to say what I'm about to do is known as a pro gamer move.
And welcome to Jackass. And with that, I activate the first item on the menu.
You press the first item, and you hear a kind of another whirring kind of noise. And are you basically pressed right against this? Are you?
I don't know. Am I? I'm just standing near the console.
Are you just like? Are you face deep in it, or are you just kind of stood up like you would be at a standing desk? You're not like.
Yeah, just normally. Yeah, I didn't sit or didn't
I was
direct interface with it.
Yeah. Okay. So
you smashing your face into the terminal like a tech priest should be.
You hear a whirring noise, and probably Victus will be the first. No, Parus will be the first one to start because she's spotted because she's the furthest back. You see a piece of machinery start kind of coming down from the shadows of above. You see it contains some kind of strain. It's long, almost like kind of like a syringe with a strange chemical inside of it. It goes towards the pod you've looked at. It injects it into basically an interface port at the very top of the pod, drains some of it, and then it retracts itself, and then it goes shooting back up into the shadows.
Do we see anything in the pod?
It is complete, as far as you can tell, that you can't see through the glass.
So there seemed to be some sort of system to monitor the what's it called?
Fluid.
No, what's it fucking? I forgot the fucking word. Contents.
There we go.
No. Yeah, none of my rolls are good today. None of the brain-related ones as well. So contents of the pod. So
I say we break them open and find out what's inside if the terminal cannot yield any visible
Please
result.
contain yourself, Melvin. I will not. There seems to be either a bioreactor or an amniotic vat which contains something organic, and the system is installed there to monitor the status of something inside.
Can you open the pod to see what it is?
More importantly, is it of any threat to us what's inside?
There is no definite way of telling, however, we should assume the worst seeing who we deal with. This might be one of Detran's experiments on making demon hosts.
Then I say we abort it.
Well, yes, this would be a pretty solid choice if we were able to figure out what the thing is doing, which I failed, sadly.
Do you wish to push?
Would you like to give it a try?
Would you like
Melvin?
to push another button?
Yes.
Well, sure, fuck it, why not? Fourth one.
What do I have to roll?
I think our Siren's taking priority just there because he's interfaced a bit more. There seems to be a depressurizing sound, and you can start seeing that the pod directly in front of you is starting to leak as the front of it starts opening up.
Who made this user interface? This complete tech heretic put open on the fourth item of the menu and close on the second. This is unforgivable.
I would just like to pull out my last gun instead.
I thought we pretty much,
Yes.
came to the conclusion that he was a heretic, a dirty, filthy heretic with no...
I did not know that he fell quite that low.
I would like to just look at what's coming out. I mean...
Really, the creation of demon hosts didn't give it away, brother.
Demon hosts are one thing, but creating horrible user interfaces is another entirely.
You're...
Let's talk more thoroughly. What's in the vat?
No, shut up. Your sense of priority concerns me greatly.
I just sigh and say, I do jest. However, this still irritates me to some extent.
The pod begins opening as it kind of opens up kind of like a clam where it opens like on the axis. The hinge is at the bottom, so it's opening towards you, as in like from the top coming down. The top of it will be reaching the balcony effectively, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
sliding out.
More of the liquid pours out as it opens, as the gaps on the side open wider to eventually, before it's finished opening, it completely drains out. Inside is a human being. They have probably around 15 or so different cables kind of interfaced into their body and then directly interfaced into the pod itself. And
Parus is going to approach.
I am going to give this over to you, sister.
Victor's is not taking the shotgun off the angle and is actually sort of rotating around you to keep a line of sight on whilst you're ahead of him.
I would like to take
thank you.
I'd like to take a full aim action on the creature's head. Well, just a creature, in fact.
It's not a creature, Melvin. This is a humanoid.
I would like to take
Paris, if
Just
anything
presumption
goes
of-
sideways, throw yourself back. The spread on this is huge.
I know.
Hmm.
I have seen it in action before, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, at least it's not being used
And-
on civilians.
She's going to check over this person. Is it a male or female?
Male body.
Hair color?
Short, black hair, mostly shaven.
Eyes closed, yeah.
Does it look like the previous clones?
It does not.
I have a feeling what this might be, but Victor's wouldn't, so I can't say it. Fuck.
Fuck.
Eyes
I'd like
closed, huh?
to.
Oh,
I'm sorry. 1 second. I'm just going to fate point that.
I thought as much.
Also, I just realised I didn't add my proper modifiers to that, so.
So
Fuck.
that would have been a pass, technically.
Yeah. Oops. So yeah, that would have been a pass.
So it's kind of hard to say because you don't want to disrupt any of the machinery that's attached to them, and you're being a bit overly cautious. But you are able to sense that at least on a basic fundamental, this individual is in fact alive. You do detect a pulse.
And I can probably also tell if they're like, passed out or not.
Yeah, they are
Um,
unconscious, as far as you can tell.
Right. They're naked, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How old would this person be roughly?
Prime age is probably mid-20s, maybe early 30s at the most.
Any injuries?
You kind of, as you start looking more all over the body, you start noticing things. The entirety of the left hand has been crushed. It is almost like unrecognizable. It's basically the skin. You probably would assume that the skin is the only thing that's really holding it onto the body as it is. Although it doesn't look entirely bruised. It looks like it's been healed, but in like a really not mutated. What's something when it doesn't
Botched up, when it's like not being set properly.
Mutilated.
Yeah, it's when it doesn't heal properly. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really botched.
Mutilated is the term you're looking for.
Yeah. You're looking at the rest of the body. You probably can see traces of burn marks, or you might spot one or two kind of chips of fragmentation in the body.
So I'm gonna try and open their eyes and shine a light into it. What color are the eyes?
Give it a guess. Purple.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
This one's brown, and the pupil does dilate.
Okay.
May I investigate the cables that are connected to it? Are they connected to some sort of neural link or something like that?
Make a tech. Not tech. Probably logic, I'd say, is the most appropriate one, unless you've got a specific law. Let me check.
I have logic, yes. And what kind of lore would that be?
I'd say you can either make a logic test, or I'm going to say forbidden law archaeotech again.
I'm obviously gonna go with the higher fucking one.
Okay.
That would be logic, which is coming right up, and thank you, guys, gods.
You examine the cabling. You detect that probably some of it is nutritional based, providing food and substance to the body, and the other one seems to be, again, you based on deduction of technology you're not familiar with. You probably say it's some kind of medical function of, but maybe stabilizing, maybe some kind of healing agent, something like that. Something that's been directly injected into the body. However,
so none of it connect to the cranium.
No, it's going into near vital organs and areas of the body.
Are there any tattoos or anything on this person?
You do find a tattoo. I need to Google the terminology for it. 1 second.
Oh boy.
I'm looking for regiment tattoos.
Yeah, you do find regiment tattoos on him. I'm just finding my notes.
Common law Imperium to recognize them?
1 second, I'm just making Just finding my notes because this is really deep.
We don't need to, and we've got Victus here, who's literally,
Yeah.
being raised in guardsman family.
You find a third regiment tattoo on this particular one.
Of Cadia.
Cadia, yes.
She's just gonna look over to Victus.
Specifically, the exact details will be the Shock Troops Regiment.
Right. He's alive.
But for what purpose?
Well,
Determined as of yet.
the best thing we can do, though, is save these poor souls.
Do what you can.
You kind of look around, and based on you can't actually. Does anyone have like lob a glow globe down to see how far it goes?
I could do.
I imagine you
got
probably
one.
have a few.
Don't we only have one?
I imagine you'd have a few spares.
Glow stick.
You
I could throw a grenade down there. That would work, right?
no.
I did not doubt for a second that you can, Victus.
We could shoot with a las gun down there.
No, but no.
Somehow I
Victus will
predicted that response
yeet
well
his
in
glowstone down there. His glow orb.
Yeah, you throw one down, and it goes very far to the point where you stop seeing the lights before it hits the ground. But probably shortly after, you do hear a slight thud. So, based on the size of the pods, and with a loose guess of how high they could possibly go, you could probably guess there's around, mathematically speaking, if probably one of the tech adepts would probably take the guess on this because the numbers are the more their thing. You'd probably say there's around 1,300 to 1,400 pods.
That is a lot of pods.
We need to get people down here to remove them safely.
Eventually.
Those are 3rd Regiment tattoos.
Yes.
Correct.
3rd Regiment fell on Cadia. Whoever saved them, extracted them, had access to the planet as it burnt.
I'm calling it now. This is Belisarius Kroll's secret Primaris testing facility.
I would kill you.
This might be the case, however, it might also be. No.
Tell me your hypothesis, Victus.
You mean my hypothesis? Or...
Yes, yours. You're the Cadian here. These are your kin.
From what I heard about the fall of Cadia and the circumstances surrounding it, the ruinous powers were the ones to bring it to its current state.
Of non-existence.
Yes, much as it pains me. But from what I heard, and admittedly it's all been redacted to hell and back by the administratum, he looks at like Melvin when he says that. Like, not out of like you asshole, but more like you people would have done this. A large black star fell from the sky. I don't think anyone survived that.
But
If
these
these
people did.
If I think if anyone got them out of there, they would have had assistance from forces we don't want to play with.
It's a shame.
Well, assistance from forces we don't want to play with is kind of what we're always up against.
I know. I just don't trust these. Do what you will with them. I can't take this.
They seem harmless enough.
For the time being, I want to see if I can safely remove this guy from the pod.
Okay, so make a Medicae test for me, please.
While that's
Nice.
happening, incidentally, my theory is your people, Cadians, due to their proximity to a major warp storm, had higher affinity to to the Imperium, and therefore this might be a contributing factor for their choice in Detran's experiment of binding demon hosts.
Never had a problem of host incursions on the homeworld, but
Precisely. Seeing how this their innate capabilities might have been beneficial for more stable demon hosts.
I don't like the sounds of that.
Trust me, neither do I. However, this is something that we should take into account. I do not think it would be wise to reawaken this person at this moment. We do not know of their status, so to speak, whether they have been compromised or not. At the moment, it is ill-advised.
Sounds as though the two of you are going to have a talk about what you can read. Victus is going to maintain line of sight on the person. Parus is getting them out. He is backed up a bit. Because I can now do this, I am holding the shotgun in the gloved hand and maintaining line of sight. Victus has opened the flask with the other and is drinking with his offhand.
God damn it.
Do I know what the Inquisition, if the Inquisition had anything to Arcadia that would be worth knowing?
You probably suspect that there was some form of Inquisition representation on the Arcadian as the battle was going on. Probably more as not shock and awe troops, but kind of more
administration.
I think it's more of like depending on kind of depending on the rank and file, mostly as trying to take out prime targets for as much as they can. Probably more as an assassin's kind of role. However, nothing in the records that you have access to would indicate that they were actively removing bodies off the planet.
Or in some cases, survivors.
Neve.
Yeah.
You're able to sever off a lot of the connections.
Nope. Nothing on Arcadia I know about.
Connections and cables that are attached to them. The one you probably save for last would logically be the large one that's going into the individual's mouth. As you start pulling on it, though, you see that the non-crushed arm starts tensing up.
Right.
You kind of look at the rest of it as it's done it, because it probably made a pretty loud thwack against the pod door. It seems to be not a natural tick, but it's like probably the cable and that was going into his mouth was so incredibly deep, it's probably connected to some kind of nerve end as you was tugging on it.
Involuntary response.
Right. I'm going to try and carefully remove this itself then.
I would like to assist, seeing how I'm nearby.
Would that be tech use or Medicae?
It would be Medicae. Siren, do you have Medicae by chance?
No, I would just like to maybe restrict their movements so as they not thrash around and like flail uncontrollably.
Okay, Neve, make it at -30.
Well, holy fuck.
A Siren, could you make a... See that? Let me just see your character sheet. 1 second.
I'll have you know, I'm weak as fuck. My strength's at 32. If you need me to restrain the fucker, he's probably gonna throw me off across the bloody room.
I'm just seeing if you've got anything else. Are you just using your arms, or are you using the Mechadendrite? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna say because of the strength of the Mechadendrite, you make a tech use test to make sure you don't crush the guy. But with a +10 modifier.
Time to break him.
Watch me fucking fail spectacularly, then.
Please don't break the person, or I'll have to shoot you.
Well,
you didn't break him.
You don't crush him. As you start pulling out the tube that's in his mouth, he starts violently spazzing out.
Spasming.
Easy now.
But after probably about a couple, maybe 2 feet worth of cable, you're able to pull it out, and it's got some horrendous-looking hooks and ties on the inside of it.
Mm.
However,
make it-
you was gentle enough that you would assess that the any kind of internal like damage would be to a minimum of how delicate you was removing it.
You just pulled out this guy's feeding tube / life support.
And probably something that kept him under. I do suspect they were supplied with soporifics to keep them in this state, so we should probably assume they might awaken soon.
Can you find some sort of clothing for this gentleman?
Let's see.
The wall
Look
that's
around the
not got
room.
the pods on it do have a large series of cabinets.
Can someone go have a look?
I'll do search. Go. Is there any bonuses or modifiers to search in the cabinet?
I would say you don't even need to roll for it, really. They're not
Okay.
they're not locked or anything. You do notice that they are filled with typical guard regiment uniforms.
What condition are they in?
Most of them are pretty damaged, but however, a lot of them have had a lot of patchwork repair done to them.
All right.
Curious. Not only did they store their possessions near them, they seem to have fixed it. This may assume we probably should assume these were supposed to be sleeper agents.
Paris is going to give the guy some dignity and clothe him.
Is he coming too?
It's hard to say. There's a lot of twitching going on, so it's kind of hard to take a reliable kind of reading of his vitals without any kind of direct equipment. Oh, cat. Medical equipment. But he's definitely still breathing, although his breathing's definitely very much elevated at the moment.
Yeah. Is there any like chair or bed or some sort of table or flat
Lay
surface
him on
I
the
can lay him
floor.
down?
Fuck it. Put him on the floor. Fuck it.
No.
There are probably a few chairs kind of littered about the place, just kind of like fold up things, nothing too fancy or anything.
Just gonna try and like lay him on a chair.
He takes a sit down. You sit him down. He doesn't take a sit. He waggles a little bit as he's still twitching a little bit, quite badly. But he's able to kind of sit uprightish, kind of slouch forward.
He doesn't keel over. Okay.
She's gonna like make sure he's like all stabilized and everything, and wait it out till he wakes up.
I would like to stand right behind that person with a weapon at the ready, in case they do awaken and in case they are hostile.
As you kind of examine the body more and more, just checking for any more damage, it's probably about a good 30 minutes before they kind of start responding. You see kind of a semi-vacant look in their eyes as a kind of eyes to kind of twitch open. And they just seem very much unresponsive at the moment. They don't immediately say anything.
I would like to take a full aim action at their head, just in case.
I am going to shine a light in the eyes and test their response time and everything.
The pupils still dilate like they normally would. You probably notice they're a little bit slower to responding. But you kind of assume that whatever that you pulled out of them, you've probably put them into a slight sense of shock, so they've got a bit of delayed responses on all their senses. Breathing is now kind of semi-stabilized at what you'd typically expect. Heartbeat's definitely a bit elevated, however.
Okay, so if you guys have managed to sort of semi-stabilize this guy and you're guns at him, Victus would like to walk over. This guy is dressed in half-dressed in Cadian garb now, and is otherwise looking like he's a survivor. So Victus is going to look down at him and go, "State your name, soldier."
I've been muted this whole time, haven't I?
God damn it, Z.
We haven't heard from you like in 10 minutes.
I thought you was just like engrossed or something. I was like, okay.
Sorry.
Could you repeat what you said, White? Sorry, I got distracted.
So Victus would have walked over, looked at the guy being sort of dressed up and fixed up, and sort of regressed into, well, shit. Get up, soldier, and tell me what your name is.
He looks up to you, and his mouth is very like kind of agape. He's very vacant. He just kind of like tilts his head at you, and he looks very visibly confused.
Third Regiment, right?
Victus, he's not going to be able to answer you straight away. He's literally come out of what
I
amounts
don't
to a
need him to.
medically induced coma.
Victus holds his hand up. I don't need to see him speak. I can see it in his eyes.
God damn it!
Sorry, choked on something.
Melvin coughs on dust in the corner. Which I'm at the moment.
Oh, guys, you should see the shit I found. Anyway, carry on.
He may not be responsive to words, but if you perform the Cadian salute, they might react involuntarily.
No sense saluting a dead planet, but very well.
We are trying to verify the identity of the person.
Victus does salute and repeats, soldier, sit up if you can.
He kind of untilts his head and kind of straightens it up. He brings up his right arm, and he tries to emulate the salute he's done to, but it's very limp and weak, but he definitely tries to mimic it.
Would it be cruel to start the commissar's, what's it called? Right for execution now?
Do not!
To see if we can put a response.
Do not!
I could do the rite of interrogation.
Yeah, let's do that.
And I can do a rite of slapping somebody on the fucking bucket later.
Do not bully Melvin. He's an innocent boy who just suggests a little murder.
Yeah, for making impromptu fucking suggestions that usually fucking involve violence like 90% of the time.
Well, it's kept us alive so far, so...
Well, I did. Anywho, sorry.
I don't know how you got here. Frankly, we were hoping you could tell us, but it's clear you're going to be spending some time getting back on your feet. You survived the fall of Cadia, kid. So did I.
He just kind of... The salute kind of falls down a little bit, and he just... His head kind of flops forward a bit, and then he kind of like pulls his neck back up.
He's going to say the 4 words.
He's going to say the N-word.
No, he's going to say the planet broke before the god did.
I'm going to say the no word. Voldemort.
I mean, that is definitely something Victus would have fucking said.
Can we move on, please, from that? Thank you. Can we move on from that, please? Thank you.
Move on from what?
Just move on.
All right. All right. Very well. Are we going to leave interrogation man here?
Yes, he is of no use to us other than being alive.
Wow, that's a great fucking way of putting that, Melvin. That's pretty much how the Imperium treats its subjects in general.
Melvin sees the paperwork of how this happened. He's probably used to it.
Is this what are you guys saying this out loud? Are you?
No.
And then they say that the Adeptus Mechanicus are inhuman.
Well, with the guy vaguely responsive but very clearly injured, Victus is probably gonna like look to Parus and then sort of like crouch down and be like, "Rest. We'll get you and the rest of you back up, ready to go."
Do we have something filled with water or other drinkable?
We have rations.
You have both. You all have rations of some variety. You probably definitely have an amount of bottles of water on you, or whatever substance that you would rather give this individual other than Victus's alcohol.
I'm tempted to. I really am.
Parus gets a bottle of water.
While it's happening,
welcome out of your healing pod. Here, have a swig of scotch. Help you wake up.
While that's happening, I would like to get back
I'll
to
make him go back to sleep.
And see if I can determine if there are any cables or connections coming from outside that may control these remotely and severe them. just in case Detran tries to fuck us over and terminate everyone in the pods as we leave.
Hmm.
Eve, as you try to pour the water in carefully into his mouth, he doesn't really swallow, as he's kind of, it looks like he's trying to respond with something.
You're drowning him, god dang it.
Okay, I'm gonna like take the bottle of water away and
See,
what
he
does
just
he say?
It's kind of like a very, very faint, weak voice. He goes, Cedric Derbesh,
Is that your name?
third regiment
Cedric
shock
Derbesh.
troopers, Kate. He's very jutted with his language, but I'm not going to continue doing that just to make the conversation flow a bit quicker. Yeah.
Victus is going to look to the siren, like it's the same as the fellow outside.
Mm-hmm.
Any luck on finding any sort of controlling cables?
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Well, Cedric, we're going to get you out of here, and we're going to get you safe.
To answer Osiron's question, you don't see anything that's like any kind of remote control form connecting to the pods. And you don't see anything directly connected onto this guy's. Other than like the things that was attached to him, he seems to be pretty much 100% organic.
No. I mean, on the terminals that are used to control the pods.
It's going to be
I
hard.
know that, like,
It's going to be hard to determine because you can see that a lot of the cabling goes down into the darkness. So it's not going to be something you can follow, really.
Okay, shit.
Last cut ideas.
No fucking.
Put it away!
Melvin, I am going to fucking relinquish your last cutter permissions.
I would like to put.
Your tendencies are worrying at best.
I would like to pull out a few papers. You can't.
I am fairly sure I can.
Legal document says no.
Seeing how I am a member of Adeptus Mechanicus and I can requisition whatever technology I might see fit.
Not for me.
Stick with me, and we could probably pay like one of the two Inquisitors we know to get you make a dendrite with that thing on it. That would really annoy them.
Do not trifle with me.
I've got no response to that.
But anyhow,
A
Cadian dude,
trifle is a form of pudding.
is Cadian dude stabilizing?
He seems pretty stable. He's just very much like rattled. Is probably the best way to describe it.
She's going to try and see if he wants another swig of water.
He's a bit more receptive to this, as he seems to have responded to after the question that Victus gave him.
All right, leave the supplies with him. We've got to move on.
I'd like to make sure he's safe and sound first, if you don't mind. You guys can go on ahead.
Very well. Victus turns around, salutes the guy again, and then leaves.
He kind of gives a limp salute back towards you, but you've probably turned around before he could fully finish it.
I would like to stay right here because I do have sneaking suspicions.
Scarlet, can I ask something dumb?
Sure.
If that guy was looking at Victus's back as he was turning around, because he was like saluting back, does he recognize the insignia on the cape?
Well, there's only one way to find out now, isn't there?
Oh, I'm just wondering if you two nerds could find out. Victus is just going to leave. I just want to remind you that he has his family insignia on his back.
Neve, you do spot him pointing towards Victus as he kind of walks away.
Yes, I know he's an asshole, isn't he?
Ditto. Can confirm.
She says that in jest, though.
He just
I don't.
and goes, he just looks at you because he's like, did the commissar survive?
And she's going to nod and say she's in the other room.
But commissar's right there.
That's That's her son.
Oh,
Mother, life
Thomas.
has just begun.
I thought he died.
Well, I imagine she would say that, wouldn't she? Given he is the way he is, but he's got a good heart, despite his weird mannerisms. But as you can see, he's very
I
much
have
alive.
sewn it together a few times.
And so is she.
He
And
just
I'm going to do my best for both of you.
he just turns to you and goes, "Where are we?"
We're currently on the Forge World of Q&A. I am a medical agent of the Adeptus Mechanicus. My name is Parus Corsa B.
Huh.
And I'm going to get you out of here.
The last thing I remember was the fire. He kind of looks down at his body and goes, "Are you the one that healed me?"
No,
Oh,
I just found you.
oh, I see.
Do you remember anything about the person who took you?
Don't. They vaguely remember. They dragged us. I was barely alive from the explosion. They just dragged us and they seemed to not care for us. I guess they thought we were dead. And then they just... I don't remember. Everything goes blank after that.
Right. It's okay. We'll work through this together, okay?
How long
You
have
have my word, Cedric.
How long have I been here?
How long has it been since the fall of Cadia?
It has been approximately 6 years.
Oh shit, we're still in the Indominus Crusade, aren't we? Fuck.
6 years, Cedric.
He starts kind of hyperventilating a bit, but he manages to catch himself before he kind of fully goes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Deep breaths. Breathe in, count to 4, then out, count to 8.
he probably takes a good 2 minutes before he responds again. Kind of like looks at his right hand and then kind of looks to his mangled hand and he's kind of freaking out a little bit, but he's trying to remain as cool as he can. He just... Has it really been 6 years?
Yes.
At least the commissar survived. That's good. She was a good person. I think I need to rest.
Okay. She's going to try and take him over into a corner away from, the rest of the pods and just see if she can find some sort of rag or something to put over him just to keep him comfy.
You probably ought to makeshift something out some of the clothes out of the all the cabinets are open, so there's it's not exactly, you're not loose for cloth and material of any kind, so
she's just trying to make sure he's comfy.
But you probably get him wrapped up and he's pretty much, before you even put him down, he seems to have already fallen asleep.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
This is a concerning development. Would you like to leave Sputnik with him, just in case?
Yes. Sputnik and I have a
sorry,
optical neural link, so anything he sees or is alarmed about, I'll be aware of.
Ah, good choice.
You tell him to sit?
Yeah, with Cedric.
He balks in response.
Good boy.
In the meantime,
Best boy.
Hello?
I'm just gonna
Hello.
I'm gonna give thumbs
Hello,
up
Marvin.
to the spot kind of way
Yeah,
out.
Melvin, we can hear you. We're just doing other things right now.
All right. It's just
Hmm.
when we get out of there, I would like to say something.
Yes.
We are now finished.
I'm sorry to say this, but you probably already know. Those men and women are already dead.
How
On
so?
the paper. They died on
Yes.
Cadia.
On paper, they died, but obviously that's not correct. Not everything written down on paper is correct.
It's true.
The
that
administration
doesn't-
will take a long time working that out.
But that does
Yes.
mean that they have been
It'll-
in the custody of this heretic. I do not believe that the Inquisition will see to it that they are, well, treated.
We don't know, Melvin. They've been unconscious for 6 years.
The damned third.
For all intents and purposes, it is much easier for your kind to write somebody off as a casualty than it is to establish their fate. Missing in action, isn't it?
I've seen Skitari fall in battle.
When a Skitarian falls, and Mechanicus retrieve their augmentations and see to it that they are reused with full dignity. They do not go unaccounted. Same cannot always be said about baseline organics.
We care about our lost and our dead.
We mostly care about their augmentations, but yes, I shall pretend that is the case.
Well, I care about the lost and the dead.
Well, that sounds like a you problem. Just kidding.
Oh, fuck.
You do understand that
I understand that you don't understand much about the world, Melvin. Not everything is the same as it is in your files.
But Melvin's right. Those files hold a lot more weight than our word.
Need I remind you that we are working with, quite literally, one of the most, what's it called? Authoritative, shall we say, organization with the Imperium. It should not be that big of a problem.
I think that's what he's getting at, though.
they died as heroes. For them to come back now would be complicated.
The damned third.
They may assume new identities.
It might be complicated, but it would also make a very good story. The dead coming back. How Cadia couldn't truly be broken.
Quite so. A true testament to the planet's inhabitants and their resilience.
And the Imperium. Things aren't as black and white as you would perceive them.
Paper never is.
Yeah, I imagine it's more yellow, isn't it? They're just trying to inject some humor into the dire situation we are all currently in.
Yellow? Why yellow?
Parchment. It's mostly skin.
Oh. Well, I suppose it depends on the skin. You have other colours of skin.
I mean,
Depends on what kind of vat grown it is.
Do you even use parchment? I would have figured you'd be more data slate types.
We are.
Well,
You said it's made of skin, and
Is this a
if
dead end?
people are anything to go by.
It is a completely rockin' dead end.
no.
Anything of interest?
Whoa!
This fucking Melvin just teleports. Follow the boy. He's getting away.
I lost him on the radar. I can't get a reading. Oh, there you are. Oh, hi, Mark.
I didn't know
Oh, hi, Mark.
Melvin was Corvo from Dishonored.
Mark to become one of us.
Oh, he's got, I mean,
into the shadow
he's got
realm.
the power blade now, so
Well, before Melvin disappears into the Shadow Realm, shall we look at what's in these following rooms?
Yeah.
and basically what you're walking through is through cavernous rock. A lot of it seems a bit more naturally formatted than it's actually been drilled out, so it's kind of hard to deduce whether or not this is just leading to cave-end dead ends or anything. So, but I think Melvin seems incredibly keen to scout. So,
He's like,
Question: Would that be
it's faster
possible?
than Sonic.
sorry.
Hang on.
would it be possible to use ultrasonic scans, like the reflection of sound waves, to like
Sonar.
determine like the cave structure? Because like that's a thing that's like possible to do like in real life, technically.
Do you have anything that you could
And
jury?
geological
Insects.
aspects.
Well, generally, with the way it's done, it's you basically make a small explosion in a rock, and then you just collect the reflected sound waves, like the like fucking what's it called?
I
The
mean, that's
shock waves
usually done from.
reverberating through the rock.
Usually, that's done from above ground. It would have to be.
Not necessarily. Like you can still determine if there's something like in the vicinity of it. But like,
Are
yeah,
you really
it's a
asking
stretch.
us
It's
for
a
an
stretch.
explosion in a cave?
Like it could be a grenade. That
Did
would
someone
explode.
say explosions too deep?
It doesn't have to be like a fucking rocket explosion. It just needs to be a small charge.
Guys, are you following up?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. Sorry.
No,
We're just
it's
having a
stretch.
big
It's a stretch, I'm sorry.
conversation
It's okay.
about
It's okay.
exploding things in a cave.
Okay.
Victor's is just arming a shot, like arming grenades.
Okay. Melvin, stop moving ahead for a
No.
second.
Sorry.
Stop it, Sonic.
I would have told him to stop when he came into something I had planned anyway. So, guess what
You're crossing the edge of the location.
Sorry, the map needs to finish loading before you can continue.
Yes. Yes. There's an invisible wall right in front of you. Sorry.
There's a door we have to enter, and then the fucking Bethesda loading screen occurs.
Oh fuck! Just if it's, I'll take anything over fucking Mass Effect elevators.
You find some servitors,
Ah shit!
Oh.
Here
Oh,
we go again.
friends!
and they don't
Here we
seem
go.
happy. It's like
Angry friends!
you just hear them start screaming, "Destroy the intruders!"
Exterminate.
Hey, I'd like to
Would
fire a
everyone-
grenade.
Would everyone like to roll initiative?
Here we go.
Would I like
Well.
to? No. But will I? Yes.
From agility, go.
Okay.
Well, Melvin, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. See what happens when you fucking. Where's the bloody thing again?
It's
Right,
underneath
there it
the
is.
train,
There
I
it is.
think.
Found it.
Yay.
Holy shit. Okay.
You rolled a
that's good.
natural 10. I'm pretty sure your agility is free, isn't it?
Yep, it's 10. Yeah.
No, your agility.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So
Plus three
you are
modifier.
13. So yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Siren. There we go. So Siren, you're going first then.
Holy shit, that's the first one. Okay, so are these guys still advancing, like, with hostile intent?
Yes.
Well, shit.
Open fire. I have grenades.
Okay, yeah, I would like to use my, like, are these regular, servitors, like, or are they more heavily, like, augmented?
These ones do appear to be quite augmented.
Well, shit, then Autopisto ain't gonna cut it. I'm gonna use my last carbine to attack them.
Okie doke.
What kind of range would that be?
It's a las carbine. You're within half action aim for half distance. So if you're doing a half action aim, you're at plus 40 modifier overall.
Plus 40. Gotcha. Coming right up. Okay, fucking hell. Okay, that's good.
That
Good roll,
is a 36. So that is
Oh, man, nice one. I'm cooking something really nice.
sorry, 36. So that's 63. So that's a shot square in the chest. Roll your damage.
Okies. Damage. Last carbine. Damage. That's shit damage.
That is pretty
Fuck
shit
off.
damage. you nearly min-rolled it. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a last carbine.
What did I give these guys? Character sheet. Yeah, I think with the modifications that these guys have taken or been given, you are actually able to damage it slightly.
One hit, let me 1 hit point, let me guess.
Yes.
Well, aren't I the fucking fool now? Now it's my turn to be in that meme.
You did good, don't worry.
You did.
You went pew.
You did a point of damage.
You went pew in there.
Yay. I mean, with the fucking rolls and how they went, I could have healed the fucker for all I know.
We can't always have good ones. We can't always have good ones.
That's true.
Paris, it's your turn now.
So she would like to scoot past and like push back Melvin as if to say, "Boy, stay back, do not get hurt."
I'll
and
let that.
go around here.
I'll let that be a free action to push him.
Unless
Because-
he resists it.
Yeah, get back there. She moms him. And I am going to.
Gonna do the shrieky shriek.
Yep. Luminin Blast.
Okay,
So
you're-
basically, I started blasting.
You're in the half distance of its range, so I'll give you a +20 modifier for it.
Okay.
Don't think you can aim it as a weapon, but you already moved anyway, so yep, you hit with a 26. That you take a chunk out of its fuck. 26 out of its left arm. Roll damage.
Okie doke. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember what the damage was.
It's
I always forget.
it's a D10 plus your willpower bonus.
Okay. Right. So let me roll a d10. D10 plus 3 is my willpower bonus, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Roll
Pull the pin, throw the other.
d10 plus 3.
Hit you shrieking.
9. And that's energy damage.
You still reduced by its toughness, but you do a decent chunk to it. So, do I want this number? Yep, there we go. And that was your movement and your attack. So next up is Victus.
Well, guess what I've got readied out?
What do you have readied out?
Is that explosive? Yep. Thought so.
Have to do some geology, mates.
Square in the middle of them, frag grenade fired from the grenade launcher.
Okay. Yep. Roll to see if you land it where you want it to.
I have a
Here we
bad feeling
go.
about this.
Half.
Oh,
di-
you could.
I'm assuming you're half
half-
action aiming it, so
Yeah.
plus 40 overall modifier.
Yay. Here we go.
Now you have that feeling about this, Melvin.
Yep.
You didn't have one
It
when you
lands
rushed
exactly
straight
where
into
you want it to be. I need to check the
Holy
rules for.
sh-
I need to check the
Yeah,
rules for
I
the hand
mean, there
grenade.
wasn't explosives involved when I rushed in. I mean,
there
I
are.
want to
But
get
there
back.
could have been.
Yes, and now there is.
I need to check the rules because I think Blast has a weird rule.
I like how everyone's hiding behind Mama Paris.
You were the one that decided to walk ahead.
Yeah, because you were in immediate danger and you're squishy, whereas
You
Paris is
threw-
made of metal.
Weapon.
And
You
her
threw
toughness is
Melvin into
42.
Victus.
Yeah,
One,
He fell backwards.
her toughness is 42. You were squishy, Melvin.
Your toughness is 42? Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blast.
That's.
She's built like a fucking fridge.
I miss being a Necron.
Roll a anything within the blast radius inflicted by the number of by the parenthesis.
Say Melvin.
Roll a hit,
Out of character.
location, and damage.
Melvin used to be a Necron.
Okay.
It's canon now.
Okay, so I've slightly misremembered the ruling, but we're in the right way. So let me just find the grenade launcher. There we
I'm
go.
just going to give Melvin a sideways suspicious glance
I'm
again.
assuming it was just a frag grenade you was using.
The dull green glowing
Okay,
eyes.
so
mean
it's
to you,
got
Byron.
a blast radius of 4. That would, I'd rule that as it being able to hit all 3 of them. So the way blast works is you aim it at the location, and then you have to make individual hit rolls to then determine the location of the body that you hit them on.
Okay.
So
Well,
that one.
let's take that.
Whoop.
Go on.
Sorry.
So the first one you've hit in the head.
Ooh,
So I roll 2 more to see what happens to the other ones, and they're both plus 40, right?
Yes.
Sorry about that. I accidentally dived down. My
Sarah,
computer.
okay?
There's
Yeah, my
one,
computer decided to be a butt.
Ah,
and there's another
Happened.
one.
41.
The machine spirit has been angered.
You've rolled 41 3 times in a row.
Yeah, that's terrifying. What the fuck?
Did you just headshot
Just
3
roll-
people at once with a grenade?
Just roll another one just to see if it does it again, see if it's bugged.
and another one gone, and another
okay, no,
one
sorry,
gone, and another one bites the dust.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong.
Hey,
I'm being
I'm
dumb.
gonna get you too.
Like,
Another
that's
one
my-
bites the dust.
Okay,
That's my ballistic skill.
okay, sorry, no, I was looking at the wrong bit. Sorry, my mistake. Sorry, I'm not used to this. I wish it would just tell me what you'd roll.
Roll 20 is shit
So
like that. It doesn't show you
43,
that.
34. So phone reminder, 73, and 4. So 4 becomes 40, which is a chest. 73 becomes 27, which is a left arm. And 34 becomes 43, and that's a chest again. Okay, so roll your damage for the first one. That'll be this guy up in front. It's
I don't know if I wrote the damage for the grenades here.
frag
so
grenades are 2d10 X,
Right.
which is X's blast.
Roll 2d10, because I haven't set
Tell
that
her
in
to
there.
shush.
Bam.
She's sitting on my shoulder.
First one,
Yep, that one's now dead.
Ellie.
second one,
Ellie, say hi to
Ellie!
people on the stream.
1 second. That one's dead.
and
Second.
the last one.
Ellie.
Oof.
That's a bit unfortunate.
Shards of explosion flying everywhere.
That one takes.
Shards of explosion?
Shards of explosion.
It's
It's a
like in
fragmentation
Roblox,
grenade.
where more explosion parts flows out of the original block. Why
So
do
it's
they
like a
make
That one
cluster bomb, huh?
takes.
Essentially, yes.
That much.
Or like a fucking Merv in Fallout 4, where when you fucking shoot out one nuke, it just drops 4 more.
And that guy takes.
Delete, dude.
That much. There we go. And that is your combat round done. Melvin, it's your turn.
Well, I have my last
Delete.
gun.
Delete final man. Do it, Melvin.
Which one of them is left?
This one's dead. These two are alive.
I can't tell which one that is.
Yeah, we also can't see how
Oh,
much
can you not
the
see the?
damage.
Can you not see the health bar?
No,
I
No.
can see one has no health bar.
Oh, no,
That-
sorry. I need to do it on an
now there's
individual
just
by
one.
individual basis.
Well, I would
Don't
like to
worry.
take a half aim action, then put my last gun to the rate of fire of 3.
Okay.
Which apparently it has. And I would like. Is that what? Just one hit?
They
One.
if you fire it at 3 shots,
One
it's
hit.
a full action because you're doing the auto aim.
Oh.
You get plus 20 to modifier. Which gun is it? Sorry,
Last gun.
that's
It
good.
has
not last cut or last gun.
last gun. I thought that's what I said.
You're within half distance, so it's another 20 on top, so you're plus 40 overall. Every 2 degrees of success is an additional hit, up to the amount of shots you fired.
Oh, well,
You've
I
done
failed.
your modifier backwards.
Dang it.
You fool!
You doomed us all.
You took,
Well, I guess I just shoot it wide. I'll just remove 3 shots from her. My ammunition.
Gordon, you fool!
you should be with a plus 40 overall modifier. Do not know how you made your target ballistic skill 10. Roll it again.
Oh, ballistic skill and plus what?
Plus
40.
40.
Oh,
you fool! All you had to do was follow the damn train!
You're doing it backwards. You're lowering your ballistics thing.
target 0, 2 degrees of 6.
Okay. What you're doing is don't put a plus in front of that. Just write 40.
Yeah, if you put a
Plus
plus in there,
pluses
it
make
fucks
it freak
up.
out.
It fucks it up, yeah.
I'm just gonna pop to the loo, guys, whilst you.
Yeah,
that.
no.
I'll be right back.
That's a 90,
Yeah, no,
that's a
it doesn't work.
99.
I got
you gonna fake
99
that?
problems.
I would like to technical knock at the next turn.
It's a lasgun. Did you say it was?
Yes.
It's reliable. it's not
Lasgun
gonna-
has reliable, so it doesn't jam on a 99.
Oh, thank God. Just wanted to be sure, but I have technical knock if I remember
But that was your full action. It's now
Yes.
their turn.
I just imagine how Melvin's gonna perform technical now. Just take the fucking las gun by the barrel and knock it over on the fucking floor.
So Chungus here charges Neve.
Oh
Big,
shit.
Big chungus, big chungus, big chungus.
I want a character sheet. Because it's a charge, it's a plus 20. And
but I-
it has no sense of preservation, so all out attack. Submit. And it fails to connect. It is a bit. This one's a bit too far away to charge the rear line, so it will just charge Neve as well.
Fucking hell.
And it's the same modifier.
Strong toughness, they can take it.
I believe that is just a connection. Yep. And roll to damage.
Like, can we try to dodge on Neo's behalf?
Sure, she'll want to. Did Neve go? Did she? I wasn't.
She would pop off, yeah.
I imagine she would attempt to dodge it anyway. I'm assuming she has dodge as a skill.
Check a sheet. You have access to it.
Like, yeah.
That's
like,
what I'm doing. I'm doing that. I say that as I'm doing it. She doesn't have dodge.
But even if it's untrained, she can still attempt.
Does she have parry? No, she does not. And she doesn't have a melee weapon now, anyways.
His skills are not available to tech priests.
That is
anymore.
true. Well, not by default.
No, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, like, easily.
There's no reason for her to not try to dodge.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
I'll roll it for her because I'm assuming that she'll do.
Yep. I mean, it sounds reasonable, eh?
I'm not. I know.
Yeah. Roll 20 is an ass. Yeah.
I'm just trying to find the roll. It's because I need to. Why can't I highlight the? What do I need to? Oh, it's the number you need to click.
Yep. Roll 20 is a fuck.
I mean, it's just the sheets are a bit bad.
I can't seem to roll it on her behalf. It seems.
Ah, shit. Okay.
We'll just wait.
I guess we wait.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm gonna shitpost Helltaker Girls chat because I'm a piece of shit.
There we go. I'll roll it like this. No, she wouldn't dodge it. She.
Yeah. Well, there was an attempt.
I'll give her just a minute to see if she gets back. When she gets back.
Roger.
There we go. Ignore the squeaky.
Z has just popped off. Something might be happening. Oh.
Click the wrong server. Channel.
You fool.
Oh dear. Apologies, viewers. She'll be back in a moment, I imagine.
After these messages.
We'll be right back.
But first, a word from our sponsors.
No.
Are you
Raids.
interested in Raid Shadow Legends?
No,
No,
don't
we're not
even.
interested in Raid's shitty legends. Thank you very much.
Have you
Have you
raged
ever-
against shadows in the legendary tents?
And
Have you ever
we
become
have
an
ruins. That's
Now
what
your dreams become true.
we have ruins call its chances of getting 10 grand. F.
I never had a chance of getting 10 grand. I would have been given like 100 quid at most.
I mean, fuck.
Remember
fuck
that? Remember that 140k-esque game that was like gonna go nowhere? That Mandalore got paid like $1 grand to show on his Twitter.
Which one?
I was there for that.
Yeah.
Which one? Was it Eternal Crusade? Because Eternal Crusade's a piece of shit.
No. It was like some indie dude being like, "I'm gonna make a game."
And he's
But it's
paid.
going to be crowdfunded.
And he's paid someone. He's
I
trying to
mean-
pay an influencer £1,000 to.
It was like it was definitely some variation of 100.
Did he even like
Sorry.
get
Okay.
a fucking license to do it? Did he have the
No.
license?
No,
Neve,
So what's happened?
the first one missed you. The second one's hit. Would you like to roll to dodge?
You would like to roll to dodge.
I don't have dodge, do
Well,
I?
you can still
You
roll it as
don't.
but you do have it as an untrained skill because it's a basic skill, so you can still do it.
Well,
I do not dodge.
Okay, you just tank it like a boss.
Yep.
take those hits.
Okay, so it does a max damage, but luckily for you lot, they can't roll a Finger of the Emperor, so
Where did it hit?
it punched you 62-26, so in your left arm.
Left arm. Okay. And I take away my toughness modifier to that, don't I?
And include on top of that, yes,
So that would be 6 damage.
6 damage.
I'm down to half health.
Yep. Is it able to get the follow-up? That is the question. That's your character sheet. I want this character sheet.
If you're down to half health, if you fucking die,
Can it make this roll? Can it make this roll?
No, it refuses to.
Oh, it's because it asks for an input modifier. Oops.
That hits.
It's able to get its clamp on you, and it starts doing its serrated cut.
Oh wow, that thing that fucked me up pretty badly.
Let's see. I need to fix that real quick because I didn't fix it from last time. That almost one-shotted Sir White. So let's fix that up. There we go. Roll to damage, and it shouldn't apply the strength bonus now. Or it does anyway. It does anyway. So
that would be
it would be it would be 2 additional
two damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm down to 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's could have been you, Melvin.
Anyway,
how much damage was that? Total?
Technically it was 6 for her, but technically it was like 12. Anyway, next combat round. It is Osiron's turn.
Yes, I would like to just quickly assess the situation. Just turn to Melvin and Victor, say, "Cover me," and charge to Parus.
Okay.
Right. Which one of them is currently clamping Parus?
It's the one directly in front of you.
I would like to go leave my sister alone, you abomination, and attempt to data jack into it.
Oh, we're trying this again. Okay, make a tech use test. See if you're actually able to interface. You're able to interface. Make a security test. You've done this enough times, so no modifier. You're able to get into its security protocols.
Well, I would obviously like to disengage.
Well, you can do that, and it shuts down.
No, disengage as in
Let go.
Yes.
Okay.
Let go.
It lets go.
And then fucking turn it off.
Okay.
I won't specifically go into details of what I was about to do. That wasn't a fucking hammering. You're to do that.
Bless you. Bless you. It lets go of Neve, Parus, and then you're able to shut it down. That would be your full action.
I would like to turn to Parus and say, "Get back."
Now it's Parus's turn.
She's going to get slightly back, but then she's going to use Luminin Blast.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to Luminin Blast that motherfucker.
Okay, plus 20 overall for half distance.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
That's the motherfucker in front of her. I am going to fate point that.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Sound choice.
Fuck's sake!
It's not.
I'm going to fate point that.
Stop dying, you fuck!
Use both your fate points to re-roll it again.
I never use my fate points, so I may as well.
Yep.
What if you get clamped and almost die again?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
We'll fix that problem when we get to it.
I fucking hope not. Welcome to my world.
And that's a critical fail.
Mother.
Good job, your gun breaks.
I am my gun.
Neve,
So
make a toughness test for me, please.
Any modifiers?
No modifier.
I feel like this video is suiting for this situation.
You're able to. You feel like some of your internal workings have been damaged. You're able to basically shut down the components that fire your Lumen Blast before any critical damage is done to yourself. However, you don't feel like you'll be able to use it for a period in time until you've spent some time doing some maintenance on it.
Right. Fuck.
Oh, if you were quite fortunate, because if you any degrees of failure, I was going to do that as damage ignoring your toughness.
Oh shit!
So,
I mean, that makes sense. If the coils, like, that
It-
propel the charge failed, they would just fucking dissipate on the user.
Yes. Anyway, that would be you moved and you fired, so that would be your full turn. Victus, you're up.
Yes.
It's just-
Well, I can't fire my grenade launcher again, which is currently in my hands.
I mean, you could fire behind it to.
No, it's me
to avoid-
for having saved my fucking sister.
You could
No,
fire. You could fire in
it's
like
just
the
like that.
area behind it in order to like avoid the blast radius on a siren.
I'm just gonna try to, like, crouch down a little bit.
See, my choices are I could either throw a fireball, or a flash grenade.
Don't you have quick draw?
I do have quick draw, but I still have to holster the grenade launcher.
You could just drop it. It's not loaded. Oh, it's a
It's loaded with 6
Oh, it's a
grenades.
it's a rotary, not a not
If
a
I
single.
drop it, it'll kill us all. In which case, yeah, I draw the. You know what? Fuck it. I'll fire a grenade behind them and see if I can't
Okay.
try not to get.
I'd say it's pretty much a straight line, so I'd say you'd be able to do it with. I'm gonna say with only your +20 modifier overall, including everything.
Funk +20 for the first one.
Only one's alive. This one's shut down technically.
All right.
Uh,
Funk.
You make the connection and you roll a 14, which is the. What is it with you guys and blowing up people's left arms?
Oh god!
No, sorry, that's their right arm. Sorry, are you guys Raiden from fucking Metal Gear Revengeance?
Look, if we get rid of the right arm, they can't carry a
appreciate
gun.
the reference.
Yeah.
But first, you must perform a dupe.
I think I've
delete it.
turned the man into paste.
Would you like to?
just
Would you like to
fuck it.
confirm Emperor's Fury?
Oh, for God. The ballistic skill roll, right?
Yep. You don't confirm his fury. You, however, do turn that guy into paste.
Just. Sorry, he gets covered in like red guy.
Got red on you.
Siren, you've got red on you.
He's got red
Yeah.
already on him.
A siren.
Yes, I am distinctly aware of that. Yes.
Could you take what? No, I'm just fucking with you. You'll get pelted by body parts and some amount of metal and debris.
Not how I presumed the day would end. Well,
Well,
here we are.
Your robes are now more red than they are white.
See, he'll turn red any second now.
Any second.
Any second now. See, red. No, wait.
Wait, that's blood. I've forgotten the name of the guy I bought this from. Because it's been so long since we last had a session. It was the fucked up Krieger guy.
Yep.
What was his name?
Oh god!
The guy that was in the armory.
Let me just
Yeah.
get. Let me
You
just.
know where he
That
lives.
Victor's like awkwardly half flirted with.
Victus,
Let me just get my notes real quick because I've got.
Victus, I do not think this is standard issue.
One
Oh, it is. Welcome to the guard, son.
There's my names list.
Paris just kind of turns to Melvin
Frax.
and
There
says,
we go.
"This is why you don't run ahead."
would
Paris,
first-
speaking of red, you've got a lot of
First up, I would
pure
like,
red.
I would like to put a hand on the shoulder of Paris and ask, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need any assistance?"
I need a lot of assistance, and she's just gonna slump down exactly where she is.
I'm gonna try to perform rites of maintenance on whatever it is that jammed with the potential coils.
And I am going to try and sort out my own Medicae.
Make a tech.
Yes.
Okay, so Osiron, make a tech use test. Paris, make a Medicae test.
Any modifiers to the Medicae test?
I'm gonna say because it's mostly just blunt force and cutting. This is nothing you're not used to, so no, just a no modifier. So you heal 7 points of damage, and
Okey-doke.
Osiron, you're able to fully repair her coils.
Thankfully, it was just a matter of a tripped fuse. Not a big deal.
I'm now just imagining that all the tech adepts have just circuit breakers in them. But you have cleared the enemy combatants.
I am not purifying.
I am only down by 1 now.
Huzzah!
Thank you, brother.
Not a problem.
Melvin, this is why you do not run forward.
On the way to the servitor, I would like to just come up to Melvin, give him a slap in the bucket, and go
What about the others?
without saying anything.
Aren't the others alive?
Ding.
Yes, just ka-chung! And just go to the servitor and examine it and see if I can salvage any information from it.
Melvin, you are small and squishy. I am not. Imagine if what that servitor had done done it to you. Please be more careful.
Make a security test for me, please, Osiron.
Mhm.
No modifier.
Okay, come
Melvin,
on.
don't let them get you down. I knew a lot of white shields as a kid. They did good.
You
Not
did.
a lot of them made it to being adults, though.
You see, I am less concerned for Melvin and his recklessness as I am for people who are rushing in to save him after he rushes into enemies.
My main primary function is to ensure that the safety of those around me, even
Yeah.
if that does compromise my own safety.
Speaking of which, you said you had a first aid kit on you.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you a once over if that's okay. You seem pretty slashed up.
That's a bit rich coming from yourself, but all right.
Well, look, you managed to stitch my organs back inside again. So yeah, I don't have Medicae as a skill.
It's an advanced skill, so it's not something you can do without training.
You're
Unfortunately.
just randomly checking over.
Yep.
Just taps
Well,
your
could-
taps your
I think
shoulder.
Parus, like,
Tap.
Reminds me of Futurama and Zoidberg. Yes, this is an anatomy of human.
Could Paris guide like Victus on like certain application of like stitches and things?
Welcome to tech support. How can we help you?
I'd say you probably could do that given your training. I imagine you would have had to have done some amount of
I mean,
first
technically
aid.
speaking, at this time, with the amount of like wounds she has compared to him now, technically she should be looking after him.
Victus can take the damage, it's fine.
Are you certain of that, my
You
friend?
can take it, it'll be fine.
We on several occasions we already had to literally put your viscera back into your abdominal and other cavities.
I'd like.
And I feel great.
I can't.
Swigs flask.
Don't get addicted to that.
She just takes the flask away, and like I don't feel comfortable. The person checking me over drinking alcohol. I
Oh,
don't want it to impair.
I mean, if you want to have a swig of that, feel free. No. Let's get the surgery on.
She's just like, I don't even think I can.
So, how are we doing this? Since I don't have it as an advanced skill, so
Technically, you can't do it as a thing. So you basically just you can give her like an examination, but you can't really medically see the wounds. That's how I
Right.
interpret the
'Cause-
rules.
I was thinking of it like being Paris roll in the Medicare, but with like a massive debuff because I'm the one doing the actual hand stuff.
Sorry, I just think. To be fair, she's already been healed from the wound that she's taken.
Oh,
That's
right.
what I said.
So-
She has less wounds than you right now.
As in, like, you can't double heal a wound twice effectively. You can only heal it once.
Fair point.
Also,
So it
What
basically.
does Claw get out of the service?
as Melvin is attempting to charge past me, I'm saying, Melvin, what the fuck did I tell you about rushing off?
There could be more coming.
There could be. That's exactly why we should stick together.
He's doing good. He's standing watch. Let him be.
I'm just gonna sigh and continue tinker with the servitor. Incidentally, yeah, that was like a success. Yeah, that's one. Yeah,
You find some security access codes inside of him.
That's
sound
handy.
good. Jolly good.
You're not sure what they're for because they're not labeled, but you have them.
When you find a key card on the level, you know it's gonna be useful for something.
Ah, yes, the red key. Now, where the fuck is the red door?
Of
Doom
course, the
music
red key is next to
One
the yellow door.
music starts playing.
And in truth, you need both to open the orange door.
Z, in front of you, you see a door.
I found the door.
Cool and good.
Is this the one over here?
Is there like anything
Yes.
else I can do with the servitor? It's like
Nothing of use.
Ah, shit.
Lord, wanna take a go at this door, or should I
Yes,
add
I
another one to
shall.
the list?
Yes, I shall. Please keep your laser cutter contained for now. Jury is still out on whether you have the privileges or not.
Stop waving it around like your appendage is anatomy. Yes.
Right. So which one is it? Tech use, then security, or just flat security?
Do you use the security codes that you were given?
I might as fucking. That's a trick fucking question if I've ever heard it.
Well,
It might as well be triggering some sort of security system, but fuck it, let's do it.
the door unlocks.
Okay, nothing else happens. Like,
Behind the door is a heavy bolter on top.
Well, fuck.
Inside, you see a room filled with terminals and data
Treasure
storage
box.
units.
well, this is right up my valley. Righto. Like how many do they have like any distinct uses, or are these just basically for uses of multiple people connecting to the same thing?
Seems to be a multiple use thing, but it's hard to say because you've never interacted with them.
Oh, like they're not visually distinct, that's what I'm asking.
They're not visually distinct. No, they all look kind of like similar technology.
Can I
Cool.
go with one too?
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
They're all lining the walls of the room.
Yep. I would like to jack in.
Make a tech use test.
I would like to try to open one.
Make a tech use test.
Yay! Aww.
Your attempt of using the password 1111 did not work.
Try 11112.
May I try 1112?
It didn't work.
Worked for me.
While they're scavenging those computers and I'm done looking over Paris.
I'm going to servitorize you.
I mean, after what you just saw today, do we really need more service Arcadian?
I mean, it's
FYI, she still has Victus's hip flask.
it's okay. I've got more of them.
Oh god.
Are you even surprised at this point?
I have a number greater than 2.
I have a bootleg flask as well. Who do I? Because sometimes you don't want emisec, you want gut rot.
Terrible.
Although I would like to search this, like the room, like the floor and whatnot, and see if there's anything like.
Can you make a search test for me?
Yeah.
Plus 20 modifier.
Yeah.
You're probably spending your time doing it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You
Wow.
declare that the floor is in fact made of floor.
That is useful.
I mean, now we know it's not made of not floor.
But like the general
Could have been worse, could have been made of skin.
the
We'll put it past Detran.
No.
I made a carpet out of human flesh. No, the thing you could be looking for is abnormal buildups of dust. Like
Dust
The floor-
bunnies.
the floor being like
They
seemingly
look for
unwalked,
bunnies.
like as if the floor hasn't been walked on in a while, or if there's any sort of like equipment terminals that are being maintained or recently used, that kind of thing.
Okay, 1 second, sorry. I need to check my notes.
Just to go in detective mode, being like, ah, yes, this shit is dusty.
1 second, I'm just trying to find my thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got like 40 pages of notes and I need to find out where this one bit is.
You see, Victus, old son, dust is predominantly built up of dead skin cells, and seeing how we tech adepts don't generally have a lot of skin cells or them showing there would hardly be any dust here, now would there?
We are in a cave.
Yes, but the cave would have been evacuated of dust before installing the terminals. Otherwise, would be an insult to the machine.
I have seen a lot of insults to the machine today already.
You've been the main insult to the machine today.
Look at the bloody mirror, correct?
Yes. I can see a reflection upon the terminal. It's mocking me. And it's defiant.
I sure hope firing
Or-
grenades at your mechanics.
Do attempt to keep your sociopathic tendencies in check, Melvin.
He is jaded.
Jaded, not a sociopath. Those are two different things.
I gotta find this fucking picture. God damn it!
What cursed imagery are you sharing?
It's something for later on. Do not fear.
I
but
fear
we
a
do.
lot.
Oh, but we do.
You should fear.
Oh, no, I'm unconcerned now. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You're the fucking opposite.
Okay. So sorry. What was I searching for? Oh yeah, what Victus was rolling for. To see what he finds inside.
Yes.
So this cavern is predominantly built of a sedentary material.
Okay.
Never mind.
So inside the room, you find a bunch of scrap metal kind of strewn about the floor, a variety of like varying chairs that have kind of been knocked over and not placed away properly. The room is not particularly covered that much in dust. A hot dog stand.
Ah, yes, the hot dog stand.
The
Very
sacred hot dog stand.
I'm just picturing the hot dog stand from like fucking like a mayhem.
You can tell I was watching the TTS episode when I was writing this.
Nice.
Because literally in my notes, a hot dog stand is in there.
Good.
Can I have a hot dog? Sputnik can get friends.
No.
Melvin, what the fuck? Did you just imply the hot dogs are made of dog?
I thought they were made of up dog.
I mean, I thought it was made
What's
of...
up, Doug?
You actually doesn't have a big mouth.
Here, have hot dog stand vendor.
Meanwhile, well,
That's
you're
adorable.
going over that, we're having a hot dog.
But no, yes, Victus is basically. Do any of the terminals like they've been used recently? Does the place look like it's been sitting here for ages?
You'd say probably based on your assessment, the amount of dust that's in the room is very much typical of maybe like a couple hours, maybe a day of inactivity in the room.
Right. Well,
I'm surprised that he didn't use the whole tech adepts and skin thing to make another jab at Parus.
they've got plenty.
I
just found out.
You just given him entirely too much credit. He probably didn't think of it.
Implying Victus can think.
Yes.
With the amount of alcohol in his
Once again.
system.
Once again, given entirely too much credit, as I said.
Osiron,
Yes.
you dig through the terminals, and other than the... you find some interesting little tidbits.
Okay. What
Uh,
are they?
You find a bunch of research notes written in a similar, if not identical, language to the one you struggled deciphering earlier.
Or maybe the adrenaline rush is going to give me a bit of a better perspective.
And a bunch of security camera footage.
Thinking your sister makes you read better.
Well, adrenaline actually does activate the neural system. It does act to an extent as a central nervous system stimulant. So yeah, it actually might give you better focus. Yes. Noradrenaline does that to an extent. Well, it's
I
the
mean-
whole fucking flight or fights thing.
Mhm.
Activates all of the reserves. I would like to attempt to decipher this thing again using Maligris cipher.
I can say with a bit more experience, I'd give it a +10 modifier if you're doing it by yourself.
I'll take any help I can fucking get. Mother.
You just can't decrypt
Saving
today.
your sister does
we
not
ain't
make you
found
read better.
shit. We ain't found shit.
Oh,
Appreciated that reference.
Can I take a look?
do you
Knock
have
yourself out,
do you have
preferably
Maligris
literally.
ciphers, Melvin?
No, but I do have a lot of other things properly. Forbidden law heresy, maybe.
Yeah, but this is a specific language.
Yeah, you don't think unless you have maligrous ciphers, I'm not going to say you're going to be able to decipher it.
Can I
Not
at
like
least use-
in the field. If you was in the base and you had a lot of time to do it, you probably would, but you need time.
Can at least copy some of it for later research.
I mean, you could probably get a siren or
I'm
eject it
backing
out
off
into your
everything.
data slate.
I'm basically like, yeah, fuck, I should have mentioned that earlier. Like,
I
whenever, like,
I kept note that I
I
assumed you was doing that to be the case.
I now explicitly state that whatever I interface with, I take snapshots of or direct backups of when
course.
possible.
All right.
For posterity.
Except for that one time I asked you to expunge something, and you did because you're a bro.
Yes. Except for that matter. Okay, incidentally, what are you talking about? I have no idea.
Oh
or
yeah,
I-
yeah, nothing. I totally wasn't absolved of everything that happened during that situation by a fucking captain.
What happened there stayed there. Anyway, can I at least fucking use logic to string some fucking semblance of readability out of it?
Okay, make a logic roll for me.
Watch me fail spectacularly. Here I go. Fuck me. Here we go.
Watch me roll.
Bullshit.
Watch me
Bullshit.
fail. Watch me
Bullshit.
roll.
I was gonna
Watch me
ask,
fail.
are you going to allow Melvin to assist you with this?
Yes, I am.
I would have given you plus 20 modifier, so you do pass with 1 degree of success.
Fucking hell. Thank
Be
you.
glad.
She's
I'm-
literally throwing you bones at this point, just so you...
Yes.
I'm
No,
just gonna point out you had it upside down.
Trust me, I fucking noticed that. Like, that's the 4th time I'm being thrown a bone.
Like, Victus was about to rip computers out of the wall and just be like, "We can study it later."
You turned it upside down, and then you accidentally rotated it 360.
Are you
Damn it, it's
familiar
still
with the
upside down.
Are you familiar with the concept of a terminal? By definition, it's a machine that does not have its own storage.
Can't hear you ripping computers out of wall.
I look at the camera and say, "This is what I have to deal with."
I feel like this is basically what's happening is a siren's trying to interface with this, but he's turning his phone sideways, but the rotate's not working, so he's just swearing at it, trying to get it to auto-rotate.
Yeah, probably having a bit of a boomer moment. Yeah.
Why won't my thingy do the thing?
Anyway,
Damn it, it said there are hot singles in my area.
why are there no longer hot signals in my area? Oh, that's because I installed an ad block on your server.
Anywho, right.
Carrying on. So what was we doing? Sorry, I've lost track completely.
Attempted to decipher anything from the scripture there.
With a bit of teamwork, going back and forth, pacing a little bit, maybe a bit of swearing, as you do.
Yep.
Uh,
I swear in high Gothic if I swear.
of course.
And a lot of cross-referencing.
And maybe
Well, the
like,
Crusade Ultramarines.
and maybe you spend like 5 minutes at the hot dog stand making sure that there's absolutely nothing in there.
Yes. Victus has now emptied it all.
Yeah, I've rummaged through it and extracted all the items.
He's no longer got what's it called? Any trauma because he managed to touch a boob. Also, he's had hot dogs.
My life has been improved.
Didn't cop a fucking feel are you? I am going. I am 100% gonna servitorize you, Victus. Fucking prepare for it. I am gonna make you a fronter number 2.
What's the matter, Osiron? Are you jealous?
Did you know that?
I'm fucking protective of my sister. What are you trying to imply, you fucker?
Did you know that access denied?
Keep it up, matey, and you're gonna join Cadia.
Ow! What? So down the corridor?
I'm
What
gonna
did you
give,
find on the? What did you
gonna-
find on the computer, asshole?
I'm gonna give a long string of expletives in maligrous cipher.
Okay.
Directed at Victus.
Can I analyze that?
You can if you want to.
See,
I'm going to.
you interpret it that as swearing. However, you do find a couple matching swear words from the maligrous cipher from what he's saying and inside the research notes.
Holy.
Nice.
Fascinating. Could you keep doing that?
Yes, I can do this all day.
We don't have that much time, but maybe later.
And now, for information you didn't need to know. Did you know the French word for firecracker is petard, which comes from the word Peter, which is to fart? The French word
Thanks.
firecracker is farter.
Anyway,
Moving
what
on.
you find in the research notes is the scribblings of an absolute madman.
That is Datran's notes.
So,
So far, so familiar.
My favourite kind of scribbling.
as
Does
you
it at least have some illustrations? Would be more entertaining.
Yeah, are there pictures?
Yeah, just mecha dongs drawn over everything.
Do you
but-
start taking, like,
Ah,
insanity points?
That's fucking why I couldn't decipher it. It was all covered in mecha dongs. God damn.
I'd like to quickly avert this conversation to say that Black Eagle, who is in the Discord, who I know is French, he says, French guy here, white is correct.
Yes!
Well, he says white is right, but right is correct sounds more important. Anyway, inside the notes, you kind of find the scribblings. You kind of don't find anything tangibly useful as to what he's doing, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
But you just feel like it's basically it's what you're able to pull out is basically day X performed X maintenance on pods X through X, and it's basically a lot of that is basically his maintenance checkout. A lot of the extraneous details are kind of hard to work out because you're not familiar with the language that he's using.
Mhm.
But that is about as you basically find out it's more or less a maintenance log for as much as you can tell.
Mhm. So nothing really like out of the ordinary there. Nothing really stands out.
Yes, that's correct. But
Fucking hell.
But you do have the security footage.
Yeah, I know, but like, okay. Well, our old frenemy there seems to be up to the same business, whatever that is, trying to awaken titans or something. Yes, that. Anyway, yes, now to security footage.
Okay, inside the security footage, you find empty corridors. Many
Wow.
empty corridors for
That
hours
is
on end.
riveting.
There
That
shouldn't
is
by any chance
riveting.
be an overview of what's where and where's what.
We'll get to that. What was I saying? Most of the footage is empty. You do, however, see Detran kind of plodding around some of the corridors. A lot of you do see a lot of his time in the room you was in earlier with all the pods inside of it. He was interfacing with the terminal that you interfaced with earlier.
Same one? Ew. Ew. Ew.
He seems to have interacted. He seems to have you kind of find a daily routine as it goes through. Obviously, it only goes up to about 3 weeks ago because that's how long he's been here, and you know that. But he kind of goes for a segment of maybe about 100 to 200 pods a day. By the looks of it, it's pretty meticulous.
Industrious fucker, ain't he?
However, you find that there are not just video. You also find it's audio logs
Okay.
with the security.
Yay.
So, inferior video
Podcasts.
without the video pod.
And we listen to them while
He
walking.
listens to podcasts.
And then you find out the Half in the Bag podcast by Red Alert Media. No.
Oh, Warp Time
And
Radio's in
me,
there.
it's your host, Detran, and today we have servitor number 77. Introduce yourself. Yeah, that's good enough.
I think the most recent one within the past 4 days.
Good
And
enough.
found his log inside of it, and he's speaking in High Gothic, an occasional word
Yay!
in Maligra cipher, but
Aw.
it's more like just off references to things that don't seem to be tangentially connected to the sentence he's saying.
Oh. So he's just, yeah.
It's a bit rambly. It's like day. He goes a bit of a mumble. Day. I want to say it's 14. Being underground for so long is kind of hard to keep track of the time.
Aha.
Looks like his chronometer is broken. I mean, I don't know what those are.
Yeah.
Maybe 15. Anyway, initial experimentation of individuals collected specimens from planets Cycadia has proven successful. The intense interrogation and mental stimulation of patient has proven that the reclamation process has been successful. Obedience score of approximately 87%. It would seem that into mass production of the creations would be an appropriate next step. However, the healing process for the corpses has proven to be extraneously slow.
He's reanimating them.
Maybe we could potentially speed up the process with additional injections of the chemical agent. Tell me, do you think that this would be a wise choice, or do you feel that the current facility is at the peak operational capacity? You hear over, you assume the comms, a fairly metally distorted voice. It's like, it's unclear to me, as the procedure is still very experimental. However, I would suggest that at least sending out the successful subject under recon of the above facility may prove a valuable test before we start trying to accelerate the process. Detran responds, understandable. However, it would appear that I am concerned that eventually the agents of the Inquisition will catch up with me once again. Do you think that is of pressing urgency, or do you think we can complete the experimentation before it is done? The other voice on through the intercom. It's not a concern. Should they arrive, I'll be able to handle them myself. You just keep doing that work, that dream you've so worked hard for. Anyway, I'll let you be for now. Your ramblings bore me. I've got things I need to do. Detran responds, very well. I will continue with my work, and I shall join up with you later once this is completed. End of log.
Right. Status update. Remember the imitator, the imposter that has escaped earlier?
Mm-hmm.
That's really to everybody in the group. Well, that one is alive and still in command of Detran. Update number 2. Detran is attempting to, shall we say, coerce surviving Cadians into service as sleeper agents, as my theory suggested, and attempting to reanimate dead ones.
Oh,
Good thing I burnt those bodies.
Indeed. However, that did not seem fruitful, and he moved on to other endeavors, whatever they are. Additional suggestion. As I said, he may be trying to bind demon hosts, and the trauma he's subjecting Cadians to is making them more susceptible or more agreeable individuals to host said entities.
Doesn't make any sense.
Little does when we're dealing with ruinous powers.
True.
However, we should from now on treat surviving ones as compromised.
To what extent?
If they
Distrust or
if they exhibit any unusual behavior, terminate or subdue if possible. We do not know what we're dealing with. If that is merely what's it called, conditioning, or if it's somehow tied to the Imperium.
I have a feeling whatever they are up to, they failed it. Did you notice how that commissar one was sort of walking in circles?
This may well be the case, and Detran did make a reference to one of their test subjects. I do apologize for referring to her as that. to make her roam the above grounds as a proof of metal.
Well,
There may be additional
Boston.
ones if Detran has perfected the process somehow, but it is indefinite at this time.
if I know Katie and Boren, there might be a chance to swing them round again.
That
Give
is
me the
theoretically possible.
give me the opportunity if I have the chance, but don't hold back if fire is held upon us. They would do the same for us.
Yes, indeed. Quite so.
Better to die than to live at the hands of a madman and a heretic.
Correct. Any fate would be preferable to that. I am sorry for what is being done to your people, Victus. I don't imagine this is easy for you.
Victus reaches into his boot and pulls out the other flask
I'm
and
just gonna,
shakes
go
it
to
'cause it's
town.
like half empty. I mean,
Yeah.
certainly not easy, but I
But-
kind of written off my entire planet. I'm honestly surprised any of them made it.
One way to look at it, I suppose. But if you won't take advice of my sister, just take mine. Please do not lean in heavy on that. I would not want to install a liver transplant for you.
Victus leads forward, implying I didn't buy one already.
Implying that it can't malfunction.
Siren, before you can finish a sentence, you hear a bleeping on your uplink with a fronter.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Where's
just
the front even?
Affronter is currently watching the other commissar.
The commissar, yeah. Yes?
it just
Come in.
goes hello.
Yes, Affronter, glad to hear of you. Come in. What is it?
It's moving.
Ah, is it trying to move somewhere? Or just moving as in thrashing?
It's going the direction you went.
Come on, got
Can
something to do.
Can you hop on their back, please?
Fronter don't want to.
Are you scared?
Fronted.
Affronter's scared.
Can you please follow them at the safe distance?
Okay.
Thank you. There are treats in it for you.
And I think
All right.
Baby snacks.
I think we'll end it for there for now.
Yay!
Well, my initial plan was to put this one down.
I think
Meanwhile, I'm sending
Victor's
terrible.
got to touch a boob.
I've been sending terrible things to Z and the Siren that terrible ideas.
Beautiful ideas, but
I love
with a
this.
terrible execution. I mean, it would probably result in a terrible execution, but hey.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
I think everyone can have 300 experience for that round.
Ooh.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
feeling
yes, yes.
generous.
I have 500 right now then that I need to spend.
500
Lord.
dibbly doos.
So there's an extra 300 experience then, right?
So thank you all for watching.
That was very fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it because we had fun playing it.
Hey, it was very fun.
Indeed.
We need more Necrons, though. I mean, we only got dead Cadians that lived on a potential tomb world, but it's not quite there.
Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hopefully we'll be back same time next week.
Yes.
Tune in later for more of our shenanigans.
Bye, nerds.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you all for coming.